Hello everyone, it is Monday night, it is racing, and it is the we're here in Silverstone, it is the British Grand Prix, the oldest Grand Prix on the calendar, bar Monaco, and maybe a few others. But this was where it all began, was that for Formula 1, this is where it also began for ALR, Bronze, and Cobalt last season as well. But this season, we ain't even at the halfway stage yet of the World Championship, of course, which we're going to go through in just a jiffy as well. Of course, the first Grand Prix was back in 1950 on this World War II airfield. It's had about 12 different configurations around here. The latest one is a thrill ride, to say the least, isn't there? With about, I think it's 18 turns, isn't it, around this Northamptonshire Grand Prix circuit. And look at that, a beautiful day there, according to the screenshots. But where we have rain or not is going to be, well, it remains to be seen, of course. But I am expecting rain. I didn't think we didn't get any rain last night, which was quite surprising. But there we go. I am expecting rain though tonight. Then let's go through the drivers and the constructors standings, shall we? And here is how this is the how the run of things are going at the moment. And if I can get up on my phone, it is like this. Then. Young Tommy leads the World Championship after Dylan's first DNF of his career in silver. That's allowed Curly to move into second position. That's the Curly's highest championship position in his career so far in ALR. Incredible stuff indeed there for Curly. Fantastic. But Tommy has got a 28-point lead over Curly, a 32-point lead over himself and the bronze champion Dylan at the moment there. Viton in fourth position there. He's about 12 points away. Wilson's incredible races, the last few, have been fantastic, and he has propelled himself up into fifth now in the championship. Favre has moved up 2 positions as well, with a strong drive in Austria. If he didn't have so many penalties, potentially Favre could have been on the podium at the very least, but unfortunately those penalties really did hurt him towards the end there, which is a shame there for Favre. Seventh position is TK, who's had a bit of rotten luck along with FIFA Beefy as well. Both Alpine drivers dropping down 1 position each, and they're both on 31 points so far, so very evenly matched then. Young Tommy in 9th position, Welshman Nado in 9th position there, 2 points away from the Alpine pair. Morski, who was pretty disgruntled after the first couple of races in silver, has found himself in the top 10. Fantastic stuff. And here a big move, serious pressure moved up to 13th position there, with New Potato and Jake the Slayer dropping down 1 position respectively. Same with Bradford and Gordo dropping down to 11th and 12th position. In the relegation zone we have Umabro, but he has got he's only raced a couple of races so far, and he was very unlucky in Austria. Of course, he spun it right in the very end then. We've also got Gunnar in the relegation along with Steve as well then. So those are the bottom 3 drivers then. In the constructors standards then, you wouldn't be very surprised to hear that it's actually the AlphaTauri that leads the championship, 44 points in front of Mercedes. So whatever happens tonight, the AlphaTauri will still remain the constructors championship leaders, even if Mercedes get a 1-2. We got Alpine in third position here, 88 points away from the AlphaTauri team. Williams are in fourth position, the Haas team are fifth, with Alfa Romeo in sixth. McLaren have moved up at 1 position there now in 7th position. Red Bull and Ferrari have dropped down a position. Aston Martin currently at the bottom of the table, only on 9 points so far. Aston Martin also a bit of a disappointed season so far for the Aston Martin team, and so hopefully that can get them sorted out, and hopefully they can get themselves sorted out and get themselves on the board then with Gunnar and Marski. They'll really be aiming for some major points here tonight. And Gordo is out on an outlap mode along with Marski as well. Let's quickly go to the comments, shall we, then, before we get into the nitty gritty of this qualifying session for the British Grand Prix. Of course, this is Silver's 4th visit to the British Grand Prix. Let's take a look at some of the history first before we go into the comments then. And of course, New Potato's got the all-time lap record, fastest lap record already, I should say, back from season 2 of a 26.404. From last season's pole position was actually set by the Nigel, who had a 24.547. And of course, far went on to win this Grand Prix last season. We had Glock, who won the first race, and it was a wet, dry race, wasn't it, in the first race here in Silver, and it's a cracking race as well. But a great battle between Faxland and Glock. Then, of course, Glock eventually got the win that day. Then this in season 2, we was in the mix of a Haas domination. Was as German went on to win his 3rd Grand Prix in a row as well in that Silver season championship. That run of form got Scott Gurman the championship in towards you. That's a very good 17th there. So that's the history of ALR Silver in this event here at the British Grand Prix. Marski is the first driver then to be setting a time on the board. We've had a update, haven't we, in the Formula One game tonight, of course, which is the I think it's the main talking point is actually of course the Portimao the Portimao circuit in Portugal has been added, and it is the first. Oh, Marski's gone wide there, and unfortunately that is a track extension now, which means that his time has been thrown in the bin there, unfortunately. So he's gonna have to go around again. So it's the first time since Formula 1 1997 that we've got a Portuguese Grand Prix on a Formula 1 game. Goodness gracious me. And of course, back in 2000, and it'll be the first time since 1996 then, which we're going to have a Formula 1 Championship race then in Portugal. For ALR, it'd be the first out time then, because of course ALR didn't exist back in 96, did it? But there we go. So very excited stuff indeed then to have Portugal, to have Formula 1 back in Portugal. Looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to seeing the San Marino Grand Prix, which is not the San Marino Grand Prix, but old habits die hard and all that. Across the line goes you, my bro, to start us on our journey here in Silverstone tonight. But of course, I'll still be calling it the San Marino Grand Prix until the cows come home. Where are the cows going? I hear us. I don't really know. Vitard on circuit, he's a qualifying specialist at the moment in the Mercedes. So it's great to have Portugal on the F1 game for the first time in its history. Great stuff indeed. Also, it's great to have Imola returning back to the Formula 1 game as well. Since 2006 was the last time it was on a Formula 1 game. Goodness me, when I was a young nipper then, I was really, I think I was still in college. I was in college back then. But yeah, it's great to have. It's great to have those. It's great to have that circuit also coming in October as well. And in November, we are going to Saudi Arabia as well. Then for another Grand Prix. Remember, all these races. And it's not going to be a change to the ALR calendar, of course. And we must stress that point. And so we're not going to Portugal for this season. We got a 20-round calendar still, as Vitor goes fastest so far. So of course, so that is so the calendar is not changing at the moment. So we must stress that then. So next season, we're going to have 24 Grand Prix on the ALR calendar, which would be the most in ALR's history. And so season 7 is going to be a blockbuster as we go to Portugal, as we go to Imola, then we go to Saudi Arabia as well. And plus we will have another circuit out, depending on what we may even have the classic track in there as well. So of course keep an eye out for that one, as Battle Z Mini, lovely name by the way, fantastic. Battle Z Mini is currently in the Alpine car, in car 88. Great stuff indeed there. Of course he's got the Robert Kubica number. But he's not concerned about that tonight, is he? Let's see what he can do. This is debut here tonight then for Z-Mini, as he is now out of turn 18 and coming out of Vale. Over the line he comes in, and Z-Mini goes into a 28.4 then in the Alpine car. So good stuff indeed then. New Potato then, who's gone 8 fast at the moment, but don't think that's very representative of the time that he's got then for the former bronze world champion. Maldonado has had enough already and come back into the pit set. There is also some rumblings going on about maybe a performance patch or free coming up there. I don't think that's the case, is there? Well, I must admit I haven't really read any of the old notes of that kind of stuff. But yeah, a lot of the time trials have been what then. I'm wondering if any of the drivers that are going to be might be really strong to find their feet in the early stages of this qualifying session, but they are all capable drivers, aren't they? So they shouldn't have too much of a problem, I would say then. And I got to say, I'm looking forward to this actually, to see which drivers that adapt the most then. So which drivers that is going to be living on the edge then and using their skill to the absolute pinnacle, whilst other drivers then who are very much more set up base and really more technically gifted drivers then that like to tweak the cars. And of course that is the difference, isn't it, with some drivers that it's going to get very interesting indeed. And Dylan in third fastest at the moment. This first qualifying session, as you all know then, is of course we're watching the championship leader young Tommy flicking it through cops now. Of course his first qualifying session is just about losing the 5 slowest drivers. We've already lost 2, unfortunately, Bradfield and Wilson out of qualifying, unfortunately, so they're going to be 19th and 20th on the grid then. Whilst young Tommy there takes an excursion now, and unfortunately that's a track extension there. New Potato's gone fast. There's good stuff indeed there for New Potato. Gallagher, who's I think enjoyed himself in silver in ALR then, so we'll be surprised to see Gallagher in a full-time seat in the not too distant future. Gordo, hello, good evening Gordo. TK, let's see how bad Code Masters hurts TK today then. Slayer saying yo, Gunnar saying good luck everyone then. Liam D saying hi, good luck Silver. Gordo saying dry. TK TK, you're same drive throughout as well. Young Tommy, good evening, ALR. Good evening, Young Tommy. Serious Russia, evening, and good luck all. And Troy, also evening as well. Great stuff indeed then. Lovely, lovely stuff, Ben. Of course, we've got a lovely, it feels like a summer evening, doesn't it, here in Silverstone? As the, I think we've got evening, I think we've got another lovely race here in the evening in Silverstone, of course. We had a great race last night, didn't we? Goodness me. I made a bit of a joke. Before coming on there a minute ago. Then we're saying that it seems like Emerson's rivals, they kind of want him to win at the moment, don't they? It seems to be all falling by the wayside. Emerson did get the Grand Prix win last night, didn't he? But he got a very nice second position, didn't he? Emerson did, and really rode the storm, didn't he? Unfortunately, his rivals just seem to be struggling at the moment there. Of course, the likes of Milan and Prix. Prix had a cracking start, by the way. I think that was his best start that I've ever seen in ALR. He won this Grand Prix last season. Unfortunately, though, all came to nothing towards the end last night. But hats off to all the drivers that finished, because we had 18 drivers finish the British Grand Prix last night, which is absolutely outstanding. 18 drivers crossed the line then, as one driver, I think, retired on the last lap there. Curly is gone a 10th of a second slower than his teammate, but that doesn't matter to Curly at the moment, because this is not about getting partial teammate. It's all about that. Gunnar there is off the circuit there. It's not about your teammate at the boat there, is it, or anything like that. It's just about getting through qualifying one and getting through the first hurdle then. And young Tommy has done that as well. Of course, young Tommy got his first ever Grand Prix pole position. Oh gosh, there's that Maldonado there is pointing the wrong way there. That's it, turn one, I believe it is. According to the track map, it is turn one. And oh dear. Yeah, young Tommy got his first pole position last time up, but he didn't get his first Grand Prix win, because it went to Curly, who got his 2 Grand Prix wins. Now, Dylan's got 2 Grand Prix wins, and so has Curly as well. Those are the only 2 full-time drivers who have got a Grand Prix win so far in ALR Silver. It's very close, isn't it, in the championship in terms of it's still close in the championship alone. It's very nip and tuck. It's a Gallagher then on board the Alfa Romeo car, who is standing in for Steve. Gallagher at the moment in 70%. Let's see what he can do. He comes across the line. Yeah, so Dylan's got 2 Grand Prix wins. So has Curly as well. Gallagher goes into a very solid 6th position. That's a good time now. As Marsky there is, I think he's life is a beach there for Marsky, as he's just trying to find his way back onto the circuit. TK flicking it through at Cop's corner as well. 2 Grand Prix wins for Curly, 2 Grand Prix wins for Dylan as well. The other Grand Prix winners then, I think we had Leo Cat, who is no longer part of Valor, unfortunately, so no more cat puns, unfortunately, which I'm absolutely devastated by. And also Fanjo, I think he's got 2 Grand Prix wins as well. So those are the other Grand Prix winners so far in Silver. We've got a lot of pole sitters out there, and we will go through the pole sitters later on in qualifying 3, because that is where it's going to get very tough indeed. That as Troy has retracted his message there. Goodness gracious me then. So I hope Troy keeps it clean. Of course he keeps it clean, doesn't he? The Silver World Champion Troy is so we had of course who I think Troy has got the most wins in a Grand Prix season in Silver with 12 only, which is absolutely astounding, isn't it, from Troy? Really impressive performance indeed last season. Gordo is saying that was a good start on my outlap, and this in the next lap was invalidated, unfortunately, so that is not good at all there for Gordo, unfortunately. So he's had a bit of a that's not a good start then, but let's see what he can do then. And then second out there, it looks like he's spun as well, and so that's a shame there for Gordo there. So a bit of a tricky start there for Gordo, who's in the 43 at the moment. We expect him to be a bit quicker than that, Gordo. Of course, he's been on the podium. He's his best race finishes in ALR Zero, been second twice in the Italian and the Canadian Grand Prix from last season. But Gordo has not reached those withering heights just yet this season. Gunnar, another G in my life. There's too many G's in my life. Who looks like he's abandoning his time and going for it again. Then in the drop zone we have Valnado, who's still in the pits at the moment. She has abandoned her time again by the looks of it. So she's having a bit of troubles out there, Welsh Valnado, unfortunately. We have also got Bradford out qualifying. That's been confirmed already. Gunnar is currently on the cusp there. Farfin Slayer also out of the garage there and trying to improve her times. And TK, who of course was in the Grand Prix last week there before he had issues with a safety car, which was such a shame now for TK, wasn't it? Because he was in that incredible Austrian Grand Prix as well. I've really enjoyed the Austrian week in ALR. Fantastic, it really was indeed that. TK out of the final turn then. Let's see what he could do. TK goes across the line. He is 4th fastest at the moment. Maldonado back out on circuit as well. Gordo is spun. Oh, Felipe Massa had a couple of issues around there in 2008, didn't he? And also the Ferrari car. It was a lot more wetter that day than it is tonight. But unfortunately for Gordo, that is I think that's his third full flap on those soft tires, and he's having issues with Marski. 3 tenths of a second up, he is fouled in the second sector. Do not want to go to those sausage curves. We see what happened to Hamilton and Verstappen. A couple of well, last night wasn't it? Or yesterday I should say. Marski is still in 13th position now, so he hasn't improved his position too well. He hasn't improved his position at all. Serious Russian who's back in the thick of things, isn't he? There as he's weaving there. Serious Russian is there, and I'm wondering then if he is very unhappy with one of that. I think he's unhappy there with Dylan, the bronze world champion. I wonder if he got in his way potentially there. Oh dear, oh dear. That's not good at all. Slayer then is just coming out of left field there. We've also got Farf on a lap, so we're going to stick with Slayer for the moment then. So I'll smash my face. I've got the microphone right in front of my eye at the moment, which is not a good sign, is it? But there we go. We've got Troy saying that it was a motivational quote there. A little bit cringe, so I deleted it. We love a bit of cringe here then, goodness me. I think that you've all been cringing since I started commentating for 6 seasons ago. On board with Slayer then coming down the back straight of New Potato's retired from the session. He's quite happy at the top of the stand. Now I think that New Potato made a strategical error, which is which I got to say is I'm a very fun one to talk at. I consider the fact I'm not out there, but I think he made a strategical error, didn't he? New Potato did last week there. If he did go on those dry tires so early, then perhaps he could have won the Austrian Grand Prix. He's only won 1 Grand Prix so far in his silver career so far, which I find absolutely astounding. And the former bronze world champion Battles Mini has unfortunately left the session, so that's not good then. Far through's in the final part of the lap as well. While Norris just going through Cop's corner, she looks like she's staying on the track then according to the map then. Out of the final lap then, and now Farf goes third fastest. Farf won this Grand Prix last season, didn't he? So he'll be very much wants to win it again this season. Only Farf does. Of course, Farf was having a great battle in Austria as well, but unfortunately penalties really hurt him that day there. And of course, let young Tommy win on the track, but unfortunately not in this stewards room, as Curly had a penalty rescinded, didn't he? And that is why Curly, of course, won his second Grand Prix. He probably would rather have won it on track then, but take him as they come, I say, Curly. And of course, very impressive indeed there for Curly as he won his second Grand Prix of the season and of his career as well. Maldonado goes 7 fast there. That is a very good time indeed. So when she's dusted her overalls down in and puts a lap on the board, she does look quick, doesn't she, around this circuit? But it would take a couple of bites of the cherry though, didn't it? Gordo saying at least I have a lap then, so Gordo does have a lap at the moment. He's down in second position along with Marski and Gunnar also fighting to get out of the drop zone as well. We're on board with his teammate, which is Marquis at the moment now. Marquis, I think, is only Marquis and I think it is who is it? I think it's Marquis and Immortal are the only two that scored for Aston Martin. No, I tell you, it's Marquis and Gallagher. Gallagher scored 2 points for the Aston Martin team last time out. Then Gulka's Prix, Marquis kicks a bit of dust. And Marquis has scored as well, but unfortunately Aston Martin have only got 9 points so far in the season, and so really they need to start to get some points on the board, and otherwise they're going to be cut adrift of the of not only the Constructors Championship in silver, but also remember the joint constructors as well. And it's pressure galore, isn't it, in ALR these days? The competition is so fierce, isn't it? Here's Marski out of the final turn as well, and coming out of Vale. Let's see what he can do then. He stays a length faster, but he has found a bit of time then, but goodness me, it's not much. Marski then has improved his position, his time as well, but he is in a bit of trouble as he weaves to get out of the way. Oh, good spell, he's in the barrier there. Very close indeed then. I'm not sure if Battles Mini is coming back in the session. I hope he is then, because he's currently through at the moment then. That's a bit of a shame then, isn't it, for Mini. On board with Gunnar then, as he is down the back straight. Gunnar is unfortunately Gunnar has not scored a point just yet this season, and I think he is on the longest pointless streak in ALR history at the moment, which is such a shame now for Gunnar. He was very unlucky in gold there. I think there was a couple of races in gold where he could have and should have got some points last season. This season hasn't started off too fruitful as it there for the Aston Martin driver Gunnar, but let's see though, this season is far from over. We ain't even at halfway stage yet. Gunnar goes 17 fast instead in the Aston Martin. I'm just watching Gordo, who's 2/10 of a second up in the second split. No, the first sector, I should say. Then Gordo, who's got 25 seconds to sort himself out. We've also got Serious Mushroom out there as well. Marnada's retired from the session. She is happy. She's putting her feet up now in the Williams garage. She's a 9th fastest, and that should be good enough. The cut-off point is a 28.4 at the moment, but Mini is not going to be able to recover that, is he? If he comes back in the session now, that is it. He hasn't got enough time, has he, to come in and come in there and to come out the pits, does he? Alan Boyd saying, let's go, Tommy. Tommy currently in 4th fast at the moment. He's out on track again, young Tommy. Is the championship leader, curiously. I thought he would have been happy in the pits, of course. Young Tommy now currently has not got a Grand Prix win, has he? But it's all about the consistency. Gordo out of qualifying, unfortunately. He's out of qualifying by 600 to a second there in the Ferrari. Close, but no cigar there for Gordo, unfortunately. You've got Serious Mushroom down the back straight. Farf is underlined his pace here tonight, hasn't he, in that Haas car. He is fastest. That's great 17th there for Farf. Looking very strong right from the get-go, Farf is there. Here comes Serious Mushroom. He needs to complete his lap then with Gunnar and Marski's coming to the pit side. So it's still Gunnar out there. I think I see a yellow flag next to an Aston Martin. Serious Mushroom goes into 13th position there. Gunnar is out qualified as well. And so we've got our 5 drivers unfortunately out qualified. And that is unfortunate. As Gordo said, he played it too safe, and then Gordo is one of the 5 drivers out of qualifying. Lauren Marsky, Gunnar, Wilson and Bradfield, all drivers out of qualifying 1. That is 16th down to 20th position, has been decided for qualifying 1 here tonight in the British Grand Prix. Then, as Gunnar is just trading and back into the garage now. So that is qualifying 1 done and dusted down. I've got to say, those 18 minutes went flying by for me. My God, Red Bull, sorry, is that Red Bull? Yeah, the Red Bull mechanic said. Just putting Slayer back into his box for the minute then, because he will be back out in just a jiffy for qualifying 2. Coming up in a few moments. For us, talking to Sarah then, Sarah said that Tommy has a win in my books. Go on, Tommy, then. As young Tommy is giving Cryptic a lovely blue heart indeed then. So good gracious me, that's cracking stuff. As Marquis is just pulled off to the side here. He's through into qualifying 2, so good 17th there for Marquis in the Aston Martin then. Back hurted, Serious Russian back's hurted. I'm sitting out until the race said. Oh, so Serious Russian now has got some. Looks like he's injured there, doesn't he, Serious Russian? So and it's very difficult to race when you're injured there. Remember, Gurman had to skip a couple of races last season, didn't he? Because of the because I think he had a shoulder issue, didn't he? Gurman did there. So yeah, it's very difficult to drive these cars if you're not 100% fully fit. Then and so as Marcy comes to the pit set, Slayer is very impressed by this man here, and I'm certainly impressed as well, as he is over a 10th of a second quicker than the former Bronze World Champion, New Potato. Farf loves this circuit, doesn't he? And he is showing some form again around here. He had a great race last season, didn't he? Absolutely on top of the world, wasn't he? Farf was, and again, then he's doing a good job again here tonight as well. Farf is, and really starting off very strong indeed. I don't think he's ever got a pole position in silver so far in his career. I don't think he got a pole position at all in the LR, actually. He's got 3 Grand Prix wins in gold, and I think he's also lovely chase camera here. Goodness me, taking me back to my 95 days when I was driving when I started Formula 1, when I started the old Formula 1 driving the cars. And far for a lovely dashing beard there, fantastic. He is fastest so far, but almost 2/10 of a second now. It's pretty impressive out from Farf, my word there. I got to say, Farf really showing some impressive performance so far. Bradfield out qualifying, Wilson out qualifying as well. We've got Gunnar down in 18th position there. 17th position is Marsky. Gordo played it too safe as in 16th position there. We might have lost Mini as well, unfortunately. As, he's only done a couple laps, but he's out of qualifying as well, unfortunately, down in 15th position there. As we are now going into qualifying 2. Well, Mini can still take part if he can get himself back in the session then, but goodness me, but hopefully he can anyway. As we're now going into qualifying 2. Critics say, Mushroom, come to the chat and entertain with me. As Critical Boy saying, and who wants a cool trick? It's quicker to finish the race, enter the pits than it is doing the last few quarters. Indeed, it is. I think that there is isn't there like a there's a rule in there in actual Formula 1, isn't there? But but where you ain't allowed to enter the pit lane on the last lap, are you, to take a shortcut. Of course, Michael Schumacher also won the Grand Prix in the pit lane as well back in 1998, didn't he? In that incredible Grand Prix where he had a stop-go penalty, didn't he, for being a naughty Ferrari driver, didn't he? So and he came in the pits there as it was confusion, wasn't it? Because the stop-go penalty was given far too late in the race, and he has to take it within 3 laps, and he took it within 3 laps, so he satisfied the rule, and he did win it eventually, didn't he? But unfortunately, it was the FIA's processes that really led the McLaren down that day, wasn't it? And Hakkinen and Ron Dennis were not too happy about that, not too fond of Schumacher's antics there in 1998 British Grand Prix. Of course, that one does live long in the memory, doesn't it? As it was absolutely bucking it down, raining cats and dogs, was it, that day? Another race that I really think that springs right to my memory quite quickly. It's the 2008 British Grand Prix, one of my favourite Grand Prix of all time now, where Lewis Hamilton announced himself to the British public. Well, he already announced himself to the British public after going around the outside of Fernando Alonso in Australia, not in 2007. But, of course, at the British Grand Prix, when he was coming up to Copse Corner, his McLaren, Chrome McLaren, was emerging through the spray, wasn't he? And he lapped everyone apart from second and third. It was magnificent. It really was indeed, wasn't it? For Lewis Hamilton. Oh no, I think that is one of my favourite races to ever watch. Said absolutely magnificent stuff indeed. Then of course Barrichello also showing that he's still had an eye for the weather as well. And coming on to the full wet tyres, didn't he, halfway through the Grand Prix, and propelled himself up to second position. It would have been, wouldn't it? But he had some issues in the pits. I think him and Jenson Button had some major problems there, didn't they? And unfortunately, both lost an abundance amount of time there, which is such a shame, wasn't it, for the 2 Honda cars. And of course, that was the last time that Honda participated in Formula One as a manufacturer or a major constructor before they returned to the McLaren team in 2015. Of course, that was when Honda actually owned their own team, didn't they? Of course, before coming back as an engine supplier in 2015 for the McLaren team. Unfortunately, that engine deal didn't go too well, did it? Bradfield's asking, what's the weather like for the race? It's full wet, Bradfield. Yes, Bradfields don't like to be there because Bradfield can see right through Alibi's lies there. As TK down the back straight then. Of course, TK, a driver that I'm expecting to win a Grand Prix this season. However, I'm going to say it a bit more quietly because I think that I'm giving in the commentator's curse. And Aston Martin's off the circuit and Marquis is well off the circuit. Luckily, there's no barriers close to the inside track there, so he should be okay to continue. But those tyres might be ruined Then remember, if you do get into qualifying free, you have to start on the tyres which you set your fastest time on, of course. And so that may so I think that Marquis may have to ditch those tyres then and go for another run then. And the TK coming down the back straight then. And of course, the intermediate 2 sector time he's just gone past now. He's gone purple in the second sector. There's no drivers at a set time just yet, of course, as he flicks it into Stowe corner before getting back on the power there. Look at this, he was still in 7th gear. Magnificent, wasn't it, there for TK? Absolutely incredible stuff. And now then, as he's accelerating out the final few quarters there, over the line comes TK, and he goes faster so far on soft tyres. Good stuff indeed for TK. What about Slayer? Slayer's a valet, it's tight in, so he's going to have to go around again then. I see a Williams driver, and there she is, and she's on the medium compound tyres and Maldonado is so no playing around here for Maldonado. He's been on pole position twice so far this season. Has the most pole positions out of anyone in this season as well, and she goes fastest there by 0.2 of a second now. And so well done there to Maldonado. But there's a lot more twists and turns still to play in this qualifying session, isn't there? And there's one reason why Vitol, he's the qualifying specialist, isn't he, in ALR? Not just in silver, but in gold as well, when he was driving for gold last season. But Vitol back in silver this season, and doing a great job. He's in full position of the World Championship, if I'm not very much mistaken. I need to stop doing it by the memory, really, don't I? Dylan, lovely green helmet, by the way. Dylan, fantastic stuff. And of course, he's the bronze champion. His first DNF last time out, unfortunately, it didn't go too well for Dylan, did it? There's dark clouds starting to gather over the pit lane now. I have heard that there is no rain, but my goodness me, then. Oh, it's a reflection. It's off the circuit there. He has spun out of the final. God, he's backed into the barrier. I remember on this game, then you get damage from the diffuser and the back and the rear wing now. And reflections may be limping wounded now for the end of this, till the end of this qualifying session now. Car 84 is in major troubles, and the Scarlet Ferrari, unfortunately, is come unstuck there. on board with the nose cone of the Red Bull Honda, and coming into Vale as well. And now as we're coming into the final few course, and what can Slayer do? He's also on the soft tires as well. Across the line now, 27.5 for Slayer. 3/10 second away. Look at the black clouds, and I've just seen Serious Person saying raining for 10 minutes. I'm not sure if he's pulling my leg or whatnot. But goodness me, then it's not looking it's looking a beautiful day earlier on. But goodness me, I had you two in my head. All of a sudden, it is looking very gloomy out there, doesn't it? And just on board Curly, of course, our most recent Grand Prix winner, Curly is, and of course he is our two-time Grand Prix winner, Curly is, and he is now second in the World Championship as well. He has got the bit between his teeth there, and young Tommy there. Let's see what Curly can do in this Grand Prix there. Of course, young Tommy is now in his sights, isn't he? He's going to get very interested indeed, isn't it? As Serious Rose saying it's dry, but Jeff has just told me that it's going to rain. He's a joker, that Jeff is. And Serious Rose saying rain in 10 minutes. Oh, goodness gracious me. That Bradfield is saying unbelievable. You are unbelievable there. Bradfield is saying, and Swanshak saying good luck to the Alpha Tari team then. Rather dry than wet then. And of course, I think a lot of drivers would, wouldn't they? Out of the final turn then comes Curly. Across the grid hatch there, Curly goes 6th fastest there. A couple of just under a tenth of a second behind his country. Reflections there coming into the pits, and we've got Bro down the back straight. You mad Bro, of course, his second Grand Prix start in Austria last week. Unfortunately, it didn't come to fruition there, as they did have no points there, didn't he? But he was in once again the sharp end of the field, wasn't he? Of course, he's the first ever COBALT World Champion. You mad Bro is there. So we come to a circus now where he has ALR experience. I think this is the first ever COBALT Grand Prix for you mad Bro. Out of the final turn, and he goes fastest there, and that just shows his wealth of experience on this circuit, and he is fastest in the Papaya McLaren colours. Great stuff, Ben, for you mad Bro, and everyone is actually in the pits at the moment. So yeah, so we're going to have a bit of a lull here then. I don't think Z-Mini is coming back, unfortunately, but Gallagher is. He is out on circuit, and he is on the medium tires, and Marky is going for it now then. On board with Marky, comes across the grid, comes over the grid hatch as well, flick it into turn 1 as well. That is absolutely beautifully nailed then. Turn 1 is a bit of a pinch zone, isn't it, where you go on the opening lap. Then we do usually have spinners, don't we? High spinners as well. There's not usually much damage in the opening couple of laps here, is there? It's more likely where you lose a lot of time for spinning rather than anything else then. Down the back straight. This is the Wellington straight. This is then as we touch almost 200 miles an hour. Look at that then. Before breaking down into 4th gear, then going through Brooklyn. We don't go below 80 miles an hour. Marky doesn't in the Aston Martin. Of course, I think it's the world premiere of No Time to Die by with James Bond. I think it's the newest film. Then I love a good old James Bond film. Really good stuff indeed. As now we're coming up into Cop's Corner as well. Flicking it in there. Lovely stuff there from Marky. Not even a hint of a lift there. Brilliant stuff. And now we come into Maggots and Beckett's. Now I'm leading my head from left to right along with Marky. Incredible how the car just sticks to the road then. The aerodynamics on these cars is absolutely immense, haven't they? Make the most of this though, because of course we have the F1 2022 cars, which will hopefully not make us so sticky to the ground then, of course, which is music to my ears. I love when the drivers really fight the car too for now. Marky into a Vale as well, and he's now got a couple of corners away from home as well, and into the final turn and out of it. What can he do? And he goes 5th fastest. Marky does that. It's within the ballpark he needs to be. Gallagher's invalidated his time, so he's going to have to go around again then. And there's a car that's just got in front of him. It is Mini. I apologise to see Mini because I thought he was out of the session there, but I am completely wrong then. Here comes the LP driver, the debutant as well, flicking it into turn 1. A lovely stuff indeed then. I love that shot as he emerges from the brow of the hill. Man on is saying I need the rain then, as we've also got Surfer saying told you rain in 10 minutes, and as Cryptic is doing a rain dance as well. My Jeff's got his head screwed on then. No, just as we're down at the back straight then is now then, so he's down the Wednesday straight and flicking it in to flicking into Brooklands as well. Now then coming into Luffield then, of course that used to be a two-parter, didn't it, that Luffield 1 and Luffield 2 before they split it up in 96 out, because there's a lot of moderations was it in the 96 Grand Prix for this circuit here, as I think they even flattened Cops in there, and I think they flattened it some more in 97 as well, didn't they, if I'm not very much mistaken. Oh, I don't think Z-Mini cares too much. That's an Aston Martin off the circuit then, and I think he's just being a very gentleman. He's a good gentleman there, Mark. He's like getting right out of people's way. Much more gentlemanly than me, because I don't go that way. I try to, but sometimes I'm just more interested in my own lap. Now flicking it into Stoke Corner, not running too wide. Then is the Z-Mini. This is Z-Mini's first ever Grand Prix here in ALR. Love the helmet colours as well from Z-Mini. Lovely stuff indeed. Then every time I see Z-Mini now, I'm going to associate him with the pink and yellow colours of the helmet. He goes 10 fastest on the soft tyre. What about the two Alpha Tauris? And it's Dylan goes second fast, and Young Tommy in fourth. But Young Tommy is on the medium compound tyres, so remember that. That is going to be a crucial bit of information later on. Then as Z-Mini unfortunately is invalidating his second lap there. TK is starting his lap as well. Good stick with reflections for the moment. He's a 10th a second down the Wednesday straight then. Reflections there. So I think that this might be a in lap for reflections. He's down in 13th position at the moment. Gallagher hasn't set a time here, so two drivers ahead who needs to sort themselves out with 4 minutes to go in this session. I don't see any rain still, but we'll find out. I think also there's a football match starting as well. Actually, I think it's Everton against someone. It's now flicked up on my phone as well, so I'm going to flick that to one side because I don't need to worry about that for the minute. Even be that notification's like 5 minutes late, so I could be unawarded by a Premier League app specialist, which I think is Google. She said Google it is. Or on board then with TK, who is on a lap. As he flicks past me, wow, incredible velocity, fantastic stuff, and not going too wide at all. That is a TK, and that's absolutely beautifully done then. And now as we go through, look at these fantastic, beautiful series of corners, magnificent, it really is indeed. Then it's the yellow flag is the TK has gone fast in the second section. That's pretty impressive stuff indeed. That Cryptic saying that Tommy is in an absolute splendid position there, isn't he? He's in a great position. Cryptic is saying that good stuff indeed. Great to have Cryptic along for the right. Then Cryptic will be in action as well for you, Cryptic fans, tomorrow night in bronze, I believe. And I must admit, I looked at the absences there for bronze, but I assumed that he'll be in the action there as well. As TK comes across the line, he goes 5th fastest there. TK is that going to be safely through? It is for the moment, then, but a lot can happen in the world of it's rain! Yeah, oh my gosh, that serious mushroom is exactly right then. And yes, I was saying that a lot could happen, and it certainly has. That there is rain afoot then here in the Grand Prix in this qualifying session. Rain is never too far away, is it? In the British Grand Prix in Silverstone, is it? And this could be a major tear jerker for someone. But who is going to be crying the most then? Oh my word then! And look at that then. That is a lot of rain already on the camera lens. Goodness me. So there's problems there for New Potato. Look at that. There's a problem with his throttle there, because it looks like that he's just he's playing with that throttle there, and I don't think he would really want to be doing that. Maldonado has got it all to do then with the rain coming down. Reflections there's 11 seconds there as we got Dylan who's out qualifying. Now Gallagher is invalidated time, but he's on a lap then. So Maldonado, Farfigh, who's been absolutely amazing in the opening stage of qualifying, is all of a sudden he is now sweating for his existence in qualifying, because Maldonado's on she's invalidated. Oh no, and Maldonado could be out of qualifying here. Oh dear, oh dear. And that is not good. Maldonado is out of qualifying, unfortunately. Z-Mini's out of qualifying as well. Reflection is also out of qualifying. They are dropping like the raindrops here, aren't they? And Farf might be breathing a huge sigh of relief then, as that was very perilous indeed. Reflections in 13th, Serious Pressure in 14th, Mini in 15th, in 12th position, I should say. Maldonado in 11th position there. So that is going to be, that is such a shame there. And now what about Gallagher? So Gallagher hasn't set a time yet on the dry circuit, a completely dry circuit there. So this is very much hands tied behind your back, so to speak then, for Gallagher in the Alfa Romeo as he goes into Brooklyn. Said, is it, how wet's it out there? Let's go on board now with Gallagher. Remember, we have got completely slick tyres, haven't we, on these Formula 1 cars these days. And of course the groove tyres might have been a bit more happier in these conditions there, but no more groove tyres anymore, not since 2008 then, is it? As we've had slick tyres ever since 2009. Oh, he's dropped down a gear there, Gallagher has, hasn't he there? I'm wondering then if the track is just getting a bit too slippery there. Oh goodness, we're taking a lot of curb there. Gallagher is fighting the car, isn't he, as hard as he can. You're meant to work with the car, but I think that Gallagher is fighting against it there. That is, and Gallagher, I'm wondering then if he is really ruined those missed opportunities earlier on this qualifying session. We got 7 seconds to go then. 007 of course had, as I was about to talk about James Bond as well, but we might have to wait for that. But Marky is in qualifying free because we're good opportunity to talk about that. Gallagher over the final, a couple of turns, and Gallagher goes 14 fastest. Unfortunately, did not get a proper didn't get a proper crack at the whip there. Unfortunately, Gallagher didn't, and he is down in 14th position now. So the end of qualifying two then, goodness gracious me, we've got Umabro fastest by 2 thousandths of a second now from Curly in second position. Dylan is in third then, by 2,100 seconds then. We got Viton 300 a second. If that's the end of qualifying at 3, my goodness me, that is going to be ridiculous. It really is indeed then. So close to top 4. We just need to take a look at the bottom 5, unfortunately. Sir Special Round qualifying, he's got a problem. Gallagher in 14th, Reflections 13th. 12th is Battlesea Mini. Great stuff on his debut. And 11th position is Welsh Marnado, who's had the most pole positions this season, but unfortunately ain't going to be able to add to her tally as she is out of qualifying. And as Harry's saying, a big choke there, unfortunately, as Harry's saying, let's go, Dylan as well, with the fire and the Irish flags there fluttering in the comments there. Great stuff indeed there. Right, we're into qualifying 3 then. We got, well, we're 12 seconds into qualifying 3 actually, so let me get myself sorted. Intermediate tyres then on all the cars, so the track is now wet enough then for the shallow groove intermediate tyres, the green marked tyres then, of course, then. So does exactly what they say on the tin then, of course, they're in between a full wet and a full dry tyre. And Umabro, who is a rain specialist, isn't he? Remember his incredible core in the Hungarian Grand Prix. He is very much Sebastian Vettel, he is very much Max Verstappen, wasn't he, from that race. So fantastic stuff indeed there, as he is now coming out on track then, Umabro. So he's the first driver out on circuit, along with the Williams, the only Williams in this qualifying session of New Potato. Farf is on the soft tarts. He hasn't come out the pitch yet, has he? So Farf is, I'm wondering if Farf is thinking that this rain is going to come and go. Of course, summer rains, you can never predict them, can you? In this British traditional weather, this is a lot of drivers home Grand Prix circuits tonight, isn't it? So of course, a lot of drivers will know exactly what the weather will be doing out there, I'm sure of it. Farf seems to know. No, he doesn't, because he's got back on the intermediate tyres. So there we go. So Farf is Serge Russia has asked his teammate to pull his finger out there. We've got an Aston Martin who is the wrong way around. That's Marky, who unfortunately has had a bit of a spin there in the Aston Martin car, but he has recovered nicely and he's back on his way. When it's raining in these when it's, of course, when we've got a bit of rain in qualifying, the qualifying game really changes, doesn't it? Because, of course, you usually have low fuel, fresh tyres, and go for it, full beans. When it's in the rain now, you're going to put a bit more fuel in the car. You're going to have intermediate tyres on for a couple of laps as well. You're going to go round and round until you feel like you're in the groove. It is more about the driver, isn't it, rather than the equipment around him in these intermediate conditions and in these wet weather conditions. And that's exactly what we want to see, is the driver skill and the absolute premium as well. So in terms of qualifying this season, 2 pole positions there for Maldonado. Williams has had 3 in total. And New Potato has also had a pole position, along with young Tommy last time out. We've also had TK, Leo Cat, and also Fanjo also have pole positions this season. So yeah, the pole positions have been spread out. Only one driver has had one more pole position, and that's of course Maldonado. On board then with Umabro. He's not had a pole position yet in his silver career. Of course, he's jumped right from COBALT to silver. Of course, unfortunately, couldn't do bronze, could he? But luckily for us and ALR, he is able to do Monday nights, isn't he? And of course, this man is a talented individual. He really is indeed. The first ever COBALT World Champion, Umabro is. And I think that we are about to see, of course, I think the first 2 races of his silver career, he hasn't had the perfect race, has he? He made a mistake in Canada and dropped a lot of positions there, unfortunately. And of course, last time out in Austria there, with just a couple of few laps to go, unfortunately, also spinning as well. But the majority of the races have gone so well for Umabro. Really impressive stuff indeed then for the first ever COBALT World Champion. And so I think that he's going to fit in here like a glove, isn't he? And I think he is going to be a multiple Grand Prix winner, multiple pole sitter as well. He has got the talent. Has he got the machinery to do it though? Well, we're going to find out then. As he has got this his first time lap then with 8 minutes to go on the clock. Then the clock is in the top left hand side then. As you can see there, of course, you've all got it so good these days, haven't you? Back in my day when I first started watching F1, we didn't really have the clock at all. We only had the clock for every 15 minutes or so. We didn't even have a lap counter either. Goodness me. me, I sound like a very old man there. I might have to go and get some just for hair, just for men to take away the grey. So we're just watching you, Matt Bro, on a 36.6, and that just shows how slow the track is now. But he's on pole position, and New Potatoes 4 seconds off the pace at the moment. And TK is second fastest, and he is about 300 a second away at the moment. It's so close, isn't it? Goodness gracious me! Out of the final turn, and it's Curly getting a bit squirrely, but he is also the 36 as well. It's a 36.7 now. Dylan has gone for a 36.7 now for 37.3 for Dylan, and he is a bit beyond the 8 ball at the moment. Here's Farf, he's invalidated his time. Farf was looking so strong in qualifying. Well, I don't think he wanted these rain conditions, did he? Farf didn't, because I think that Farf might have been one of the contenders then for pole position in this race then. But let's see how it goes then. He still can get pole position in these wet weather conditions, Farf can. However, he probably would have rather a straightforward Grand Prix qualifying session. This is not straightforward anymore. Here's Slayer. Of course, Slayer is in the battle for the relegation zone more often than not last season. Like young Tommy, Slayer has really become a major player at the front end of the field. Here comes car 2. Unfortunately, still got D4 helmet there, so I shake my head in disappointment. Across the line, Slayer comes, and he's done a 50. I think he's going for broke again now. Young Tommy is in Stowe corner. He is in Stowe corner. They're just going a bit wide there, but still keeping on the circuit as well. Here is the champion. Here is our championship leader, the man who's in the Silver World Championship. Very impressive indeed there for young Tommy. Another driver who's really turned his season around. Turned his career around fantastically well. He's gone third fastest young Tommy, and he is in the ballpark as well. McLaren of Umabro just get out of the way there. As Umabro, I think now he's going for no time run. He is going for no time run. V Todd, who is on a lap then, but I'm looking to see, and it's New Potato who's gone fast there, but he's 2 10 seconds in front there. TK has gone second fast. Umabro's gone from first to third in a twinkling of an eye here. Oh my goodness me. Oh, fantastic stuff indeed then. So young Tommy there on the back straight. I'm looking for the other Alpha Tower driver. Unfortunately, Dylan's invalidated his time, so he's got down over by the chair. What about Curly? Curly, I think it's on a off lap then to just harvest, and now he's going for it again then. Yellow flags is one of the Mercedes that is cruising down the back straight. I think it's V Todd. It is V Todd, unfortunately. I haven't set it on the board yet. Farf is goodness me there. He's well out there. He's gone over to Yorkshire there, and there is V Todd then, who's unfortunately backed off of Marky and Farf, and not set times just yet. We're just watching the Red Bull driver of Slayer, and what is Slayer doing? And is Slayer carrying on this up? He is carrying on this up now. We're on board the Red Bull driver. Look, the rain has stopped here. The rain has stopped then, so is it going to be enough time? And as we mentioned, the summer rain should go down predict over here in Silverstone, and the rain has stopped now. Is it going to be enough time for the dry tyres? And Slayer has found 12 seconds, and he is still the slowest of the time runners thus far. However, that may not be that's not going to be a crucial part in the race. And into the pits there comes young Tommy then. Remember, the lesser cars on circuit, though, they are not going to be throwing the rain back up into the air where it came from, are they? So the track may dry a bit slower. And Marky's on the soft tyres. Potato, who's currently the pole sitter at 1A, can he match his teammate and go for 2 pole positions this season? DK in the pits as well. Umabro also put in the pits, and so yes, they're all kind of pits. Curly was found out a lot of time there in the second sector there. What about Dylan? I think Dylan is harvesting and coming back in the pits. He is coming back in the pits. Is Curly going to carry on with this lap then? We're on board Curly. He is carrying on this lap then. He is second to the World Championship. Curly is there, and this is going to be a roll of the dice then, isn't it? Has he got enough time now to come back in there, change tires, go back out again? The Mercedes mechanics will be ready for him next time around, I'm sure of it. And Curly's on pole position by half a second there. That could be a crucial part of this event here tonight now. Curly has stayed out there when the track conditions are at their best at the moment, and that is crucial. Now, I think that there's going to be dry tyres out afoot in a minute because we've had the DRS been enabled. Oh my word, then this is going to be a pretty incredible stuff indeed, isn't it? Sarah 6 seconds second down. None of the dry runners have come out just yet. And young Tommy has gone from the soft tyres back onto the inters. And soft tyres are ready for New Potato, for TK, for Marky, and for Farf as well. So just under half the drivers are on the soft tyres. The 6 drivers are still on the intermediate compound tyres. Oh my word, then this is going to be a tough one then. Critical by saying Curly has enough time to return to the pits. Cass saying good afternoon and evening, and good luck to to the drivers as well. Great stuff indeed there for Kaz, the COBALT driver then for Ferrari as well, of course, as he is very much cheering on the Ferrari. Go Ferrari, go then. Latest to set their lap wins basically, or should do that. So very much, I always say this, don't I, when there's a wet weather session, but the European Grand Prix 1999 there. Untitled Chapter there, of course, got Jordan. Was that Jordan Sasser pole position there in Formula 1? Possibly. I've just scratched that out of my head, really, so I'm not even sure that's right. But Untitled Chapter, the Nürburgring there, 1999, the European race where it was a wet, dry session there. It was raining, wasn't there? Now, was it stopped raining with 15 minutes to go? And it was last driver across the line, wasn't it? That took that pole position, and it was Frentzen, was there? With Hakkinen third position, and Coulthard second. Excuse me. I'm on board with Farf, but I think no disrespect to Farf, but I don't want to look at Farf. I want to look at this man here. It's young Tommy at the moment. He is the furthest star around on soft tires. There is still a sprinkling of the wet stuff out there, isn't there? But there is definitely a dry patch now. So the soft tires are showing the way to go. Curly, who is going to be leaving it till the last minute there to get out on circuit. Curly is not out of the pitch yet, nor is New Potato, nor is TK, nor is you Mad Bro. So you've got 5 drivers out of the pits then, who is on a lap at the moment there on the soft tires. So they're going to have an extra lap then. So they're going to have an exploratory lap perhaps then, and seeing what and see what the conditions are like out there. But then there's going to be the other drivers that are going to have less fuel on board then, which means they're going to have more tyre life, which means they might get a better advantage in terms of performance, of course. It is a very difficult decision to make, isn't it? Do you want the knowledge of the circuit, or do you want the performance? That is what we're talking about here in this qualifying session. And here is young Tommy as well. Lovely shot here from young Tommy, almost in his eye line view. Look at how less you see of the circuit here. Across the line he goes to start us. And here is the man who's in the World Championship. He's had a pole position for only one time in his career, which was last time out was in for young Tommy. But he has now got the advantage, as he knows what it feels like to be on pole position. He probably wants more if he wants the taste of that. He's had the taste, he wants more now, doesn't he? And he's coming through the loop then. Farfet's in the wall of Farfet, who was one driver who I was predicting that might get pole position, but he's off, and he's gone off in a major way as well. Farfet's out of qualifying. The man who won this race last season is going to be kicking himself out. He is out of qualifying. Farfet's the one-time Grand Prix winner, which of course he won it here last season as well, didn't he, Farf? That is not going to be the case anymore. Cryptic saying Tommy has enough time for 2 laps here then. We got 3/4 of a minute to go in this session, so yes, he should have enough time to get across the line. But young Tommy's not going to have the tyre advantage that the driver said, who have left it till the very last minute then to come out then. So Curly, I think, is going to be the last driver across the line, if I'm not very much mistaken then. I think I'm not very much mistaken anyway. I'm going to have a look in a minute. I think he is anyway, but he's got 17 seconds there. Curly has said, as I'm looking at the wrong Mercedes. I'm looking at as he's coming down the back straight as well. So I think that I gotta say it's going to be tight, touch and go. I think for the Mercedes and Curly. Curly, I think it's coming into Stowe. I hope my clock is wrong. Out of the final turn then, and where does Curly's gone fast. It's not gone fast because he's missed the time there. And young Tommy's on pole position there. Oh, for the British Grand Prix. What about his teammate Dylan? Curly has missed the flag here. Oh goodness me then, and that's a turn up for the books there for Curly. And across the line, Dylan's now fast as well. Oh my goodness me. What about young? V Todd is invalid. It's a nightmare for the Mercedes team here tonight. It's a nightmare scenario. Marquis has still got his time in the inbounds here for the Aston Martin. And here he comes then out of the final turn. Let's see what he can do then across the line. And he goes second fastest, Marquis. That's fantastic stuff there. Really well done indeed then. Here comes Slayer. Slayer's invalidated as well, unfortunately. So Slayer, that's done and dusted then. Mad Bro is 2 seconds up then. TK is 6 seconds up then. New Potato, who is down the back straight as well. Oh, what a shame there for Curly. Out of qualifying then. So he has missed the flag as he's down in 4th position on there, but it could get a whole lot worse here. Oh dear, oh dear. As Curly said in the comments, just confirming that he didn't make it. He left it a bit too late then for Curly. That he was pushing the boundaries at the time, and unfortunately he lost that one, didn't he? TK across the line. He's now on pole position. What about New Potato? New Potato is second fastest there. He just couldn't get it, could he? And now what about you, Mad Bro? You Mad Bro then? And this going to be his first pole position of his career in silver. Across the line he comes. What about the comment? He's on pole position there. for the McLaren team, and you mad bro in his third Grand Prix start of his career in ALR Silver. It's on pole position there, you mad bro. It's fantastic stuff indeed there for you mad bro. Really well done then. And of course, as I mentioned there earlier on, then that's going to be his first of many. I foresee that he was the last one across the line there. Exactly what Cryptic said there, and he got pole position there, and that is another driver's got pole position this season, as we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different pole sitters in the first 8 races there in silver. Absolutely ridiculous stuff indeed. You might bro on pole position there with TK alongside the new potato in third, with Dylan in fourth. Championship leader young Tommy down in sixth position there. Curly who missed the flag then, but that is not as bad as what could have been there for Curly. Far to be kicking himself because he had the pace, I think, in that qualifying session. Unfortunately, that is not the case, so is it? And he is out of qualifying. Sarah saying could have been fourth. Damn it there, young Tommy needed 2 more seconds there. As Troy, you mad bro? Question marks as well. Good luck, Serious Red saying is. Anyways, good luck to everyone as well. Great stuff indeed done. Lovely friendly atmosphere. And it's a lovely sunny afternoon here in Silverstone. It's a great stuff indeed. And yes, it's looking a beautiful day out there here in Silverstone. Of course, what a perfect day for the Grand Prix, isn't it? Here in Northamptonshire. So then, with the championship protagonist then not near the front then, this is going to get very interesting indeed. We'll go for the grid in just a few moments then. But yeah, I must say then that is looking very fruitful indeed. I think that's McLaren's first pole position of the season as well, if I'm not very much mistaken. So good stuff indeed there for you mad bro. And can he convert this Grand Prix into a win as well? Remember, you mad bro made his debut for COBALT here last season, didn't he? He knows the track then, doesn't he? And he's showing it, doesn't he? Because he has ALR experience around here. I think was that the factor, or was it just the you mad bro factor? Possibly a bit of both then. Anyway, let's go for the grid, shall we, from front to back. Not a hard tire in sight even then as we start going as well. Dean, as we've got Hammer Tom saying, you mad bro, back up those COBALT shining days then from Hammer Tom there, giving him a good old fist bump as well. And you mad bro is on at pole position then for the first time in his career in silver. He adjusts the conditions to absolute perfection there. And that's his first pole position of his career in silver. Magnificent stuff indeed there. TK is alongside him on row 1, both the front row runners on the soft tires. Third position is New Potato with Dylan in fourth position. Markey is in fifth position. Sixth position is Young Tommy's on the medium tires. Curly is alongside his championship rival in seventh position there, so it's not as bad as what it could have been there for Curly. So luckily there for Curly. Eighth position is Slayer on the soft tires. Farf in ninth position on the medium compound tires. V Todd is in 10th position. He's on the soft tires as well. V Todd, just like his team, both Mercedes, making a major mistake there. Marnado in 11th position. She wanted the rain. Unfortunately, she missed it. 12th position there is Z Mini. Great. That's a great debut for Z Mini there in 12th position. Good stuff there. 13th is Reflections with Gallagher in 14th. And the last 3 drivers head of Z Mini, Reflections and Gallagher, all on the soft compound tyres. Serge Mushin then, he seems in a bit of distress, does he, in the comments there, but hopefully he can pull through it. Have a strong race there for Serge Mushin. He's got to build on that performance he had in Austria. And this is 72nd Grand Prix start tonight for Serge Mushin. Never missed the ALR Silver Grand Prix, which in all the ALR Silver Grand Prix, he's never missed a single one. Fantastic. Gordo in 16th position on the medium tyres. Marsky in 17th on the medium tyres. Well, Marsky is a very good racer, isn't he now? So maybe I was disappointed qualifying, but the race is something completely different. 18th is Gunnar. He is on the soft tyres, so go for an attacking strategy there, and he might be. And of course, what if he's going to show his James Bond expertise? And he's got a license to free old Gunnar as in 18th position. Of course, Aston Martin, or is that synonymous with James Bond, isn't they? Wilson in 19th position there in the Papaya McLaren. Is 20th on the grid. Then is Bradfield, both on medium tyres. They both are experts in tyre management as well, so expect them to be near the front when all the pit stops start to roll in as well. Can't say, like to say, Carboy put in an epic race yesterday. He did indeed. Carboy did that, and well, I think that he was definitely one of my very impressive stuff indeed. I think that's Carboy's been on the in like the top 5 or the top 4 in the last 3 Grand Prix. He's on a magnificent run. Here we go then for the start of the British Grand Prix. The lights are on then, and of course then Maggots is revving up then, and here we go, this lights out, and it's go for the British Grand Prix, and here we go then, and Maggots had the perfect start then in Galway superbly well, and TK is second, and third position is Dylan. He's got past New Potato, who's dropped out of position there, but of course I think that's the medium compound effect there. Dylan's gone very wide though, coming into the loop then, as we've had a bit of a squirrel there from New Potato. There's a young Tommy's gone to the back of New Potato. Is he damaged the front wing? These wings are very delicate. Marky and Curly are side by side down the Wellington straight. My goodness me, Curly to the championship bound, but he is not concerned about that about. He wants to make up as many positions as possible. He's on the outside, Marky's on the inside. He's got the inside though for left field. He does indeed, so Marky is going to have to go out wide there. Aston Martin have had a pretty poor start to their career in a silver so far, haven't they? So they need to get themselves back into the thick of things as well. Look at this, we've got wheel-to-wheel stuff going through Cop's corner then, and Marky is on the outside then. Marky's on the outside, Farf is trying to go on the inside as well. Farf also on the pole qualifying now, and he's got pace as they all fall in line then. Goodness me, that was getting very hair and scare. Gallagher very close to the back of Slayer as well. Slayer in 10th position now, but Slayer's dropped down 2 positions unfortunately. Up 4 positions is Gunnar using those soft tires to absolutely perfect advantage then. So Curly and Marky, they're all slipstream, and then there's no DRS yet, and of course that is at the end of the the third lap then. Gallagher's left for session, that's not good then, and we've now is Farf has got past Curly, then Curly's going to have a look on the inside. He lovely shot from the nose cone here, the Mercedes driver, as Malnonna's got past Gallagher back into her position there. Gallagher dropping down the order. Maggots set the fast up race at half a second. His advantage as he comes through to complete the first lap there, as Curly there is just going straight to the near side of the pit wall there. I wonder if he's strung with the tyres there. Gallagher back in the session, that's good news to hear then. Serious pressure dropping down a couple of positions as well, but he's now back up in it to 16th position then, almost where he started then. And of course when the time starts to sort itself out, then we'll get ourselves back going. And Gunnar is had a fantastic start to the Grand Prix in this Aston Martin. This is Aston Martin's home Grand Prix, and Gunnar is flying the British Racing Green flag absolutely magnificently here tonight. Both him and Marky who are in a strong 13th and 6th position so far for the Aston Martin team. Brilliant. The gap in front is down to 4/10 of second, and it's Gordo who's just got past Gallagher as well. Hopefully Gallagher can take control of his car in a second or two there. The gap in the front, oh goodness me, as TK as Maggots just got slightly wide there. This is going to get very interesting indeed, and it's on board now with TK, and he has now won a Grand Prix. Nor is Maggots. Dylan has won 2 races along with Curly. He's got the most Grand Prix wins so far this season, hasn't he? Dylan and Curly have then joined top of the winner's circle at the moment, but I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of drivers queuing up behind him to have a Grand Prix win at the very least by the end of the season. On board now with TK, so TK has remained in third position there. I think that so at the moment then the top 3 is going to try and scamper away as quickly as possible here, with New Potato going on the medium tires and he's going long. Remember the overcut last night for Percy was absolutely to perfection, wasn't it there? And of course Percy got his first Grand Prix win of his career in ALR last night with the overtake. DRS has been enabled, no penalties just yet, and it's the top 3. It's going to be deja vu from last night. Say, oh goodness me, I can't think I can survive another British Grand Prix like last night. It was absolutely magnificent, wasn't it? And I think that this one is going to be just as magnificent as well. Marsky then all over the back, and Serious Mushroom on there. Serious Mushroom is really struggling, and who's that? That's Bradfield on the inside of Marsky, but that gap was always going to close. And Curly, DRS has now been enabled, and we've got some DRS trains at the moment. Everyone is within DRS set of the car in front, apart from Gunnar, but Gordo has made a goal on the inside there, and has passed Gunnar and got him in the third position there. Gordo has said, what about Gallagher, who's riding into the gearbox of Gunnar as well, and Gunnar, I wonder if those soft tires had, well, they've only done 3 laps on those soft tires, hasn't it? And goodness gracious me, they're going up the inside then, and flying through then, as now is a Gallagher over the 14th position there, because Gunnar's dropping down into 15th as well, and I think Serious Rush has also got past Gunnar as well, as he has indeed, there's a racing through to Maggots. Oh my goodness gracious. Absolutely incredible stuff, indeed. Marsky. Oh gosh, there Marsky and Gunnar came together there, and I think very well controlled them from both drivers. And oh goodness me, and now Bradfield has also got through as well. My word, that Gordo has just dropped down the order as well. As he, goodness gracious me, what an incredible start here. And there's a bit of a bumping and grinding over there, but it's all fine and dandy, isn't it? Coming through the complete lap 3 of the Grand Prix, lap 2 of the Grand Prix. Then, well, incredible start indeed. Then Cridwick asking for the winners and losers then from the opening stage. Then well, Bradfield at 3 positions. Unfortunately, Battles the Mini has dropped down 8 positions there, so I think he was the driver that caused the yellow flag just a moment or two ago. Gunnar is dropping down like a stone as well. Unfortunately, now his great start has come to nothing in the Aston Martin, and he's really struggling for pace out there. Unfortunately, young Tommy is up in position there. Now Farfus up 2 positions as well. So at the moment, the biggest mover is Bradfield at 4 positions. Apart from that, it's status quo at the moment. So good stuff indeed. Then and there are the tires up on the side of the towers right in for anyone. If you want to give me if you want any information on that, then just give me a wave in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. And your wish is my command. And Farfus is through on the inside of left field. Great stuff indeed there for Farfus is through. Marsky has now lost position to Wilson, but they are on a good old ding dong of a battle there in the background. Oh my word, is Marquis having a look on the inside. Farfus wandered right off the circuit there. We said a lot of that last night, didn't we? Goodness me. No, I gotta say, I think that you get a warning for going slightly off the circuit there, but if you go right off the circuit and use the IndyCar line, you don't get any warnings at all, do you? By the sounds of last night, anyway. But as we come down the back straight, DRS as well, but I think the Marquis, those soft tires have really they have lost their advantage now, haven't they? As I think Curly is down in 8th position, and it's championship rival young Tommy in 5th position at this moment in time. Then so Curly is going to have to really step up a notch. Then in car 12, Curly gets a lovely shot for the Mercedes car. Gunnar has just got past Marsky and moved back up into 8th position. And Marsky dropping down the order. So we're now on that 5 and that's Williams right off the circuit in the background. I think that's Welsh Maldonado. It is Maldonado. Is a new potato is in a solid 4th position momentum. He is now also starting to find out some performance in the medium tyres. Marcy's got the first penalty of the evening. So now New Potato has found some performance in the medium tyres, and he is now starting to lay the gauntlet down, isn't he? New Potato said, of course, he hasn't won a Grand Prix so far this season. I think he's only won 1 Grand Prix in his entire career in bronze. And I'm going to have to check my stat book on that one, but because that doesn't feel right, does it? Because this man has got some pace, has he? The first ever bronze world champion, New Potato is, but he is in 4th position. He has had a lot of bad luck so far this season as well. The first 2 races, I think he only managed to do 1 corner. He didn't even get off the line in Bahrain. Well, he got off the line and was in the wall. And then unfortunately in Spain, then he was out by turn 2. But I think though that he had a great race in Monaco, hasn't he? But he hasn't had much to write home about so far this season, has he? New Potato hasn't. But we'll soon find out. But of course, this is a longer season. This one is. So we've got 20 races in silver this season. So there's a lot can still happen in the Grand Prix. V Todd is now starting to really find some time on the back of his teammate, and there they are. Oh gosh, I think I've missed the battle for lead, have I? Oh, not quite. And it's TK is still. I got to adjust my headphones. TK is still just about in reach there, but goodness me, New Mad is now becoming the cork in the bottle here as the Grand Prix leader is really struggling this day to produce a New Mad the first time we've seen a race here in Silverstone in silver. And at the moment, though, he's really struggling this day. New Mad has set the fastest up on that lap this time around. Then goodness me, but goodness gracious me, look at this queue of cars then. 3 tenths of a second between New Mad and TK. 3 tenths of a second between Dylan and TK. 3 tenths of a second between New Potato and Dylan. Now, goodness me, then it is so close. Marsky's in the pits there. It's a longer pit lane this one as well, isn't it? Because I think the lack of it's a 1 stopper, I would say, tonight. So now flying in to Brooklands as well, and Dylan is in major trouble because look at this. New Potato's gone through there. Dylan is backed out there, but now he's gone back on the inside into left field. Great driving there from Dylan. As I think Dylan was waiting for New Potato to go wide. He did go wide there. Great 17 there, but now this New Potato's like swapping attack there, and he's going on the inside to Cops, is he? Not quite. He's a bit too far back at this stage of proceedings then. So great driving there from Dylan. Great driving from New Potato as well. Hats off, Ben, so far. Still all 20 cars left in the Grand Prix, and really impressed 17 that is Serious Rushman Gordo, who are also having a good old ding-dong battle as well. Well, there's Serious Rushman. He's back on the outside there, back through. Oh my word, great 17 there for Serious Rushman. Back up into 14th position there. Gordo unfortunately down into 15th. As you might bro has lost the lead, or has he? No, because at the moment TK then. Oh goodness me, there's going to be contact there. As TK and you might bro rubbing wheels then. Goodness me, coming out of snow. Oh my golly gosh, then as that was getting very fine between the two drivers. As we're on lap 7 of the Grand Prix, there's a long way to go still in this British Grand Prix, 20 laps to be precise, and the gap there, this gap extends all the way down to 9th position, so the 2 Mercedes are hanging on to the back of this battle at the moment. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th, 8th, 9th, all within a second of each other. They're all battling for the Grand Prix lead as well. We've got a big old DRS train here in the British Grand Prix. I absolutely love it, then. But is that going to nullify the Grand Prix then? Farf's got a 3-second penalty. That is now 4 drivers with penalties in this race so far. Remember, penalties is quite crucial in the race for last time out in Austria. There is an Alfa Romeo, an Alfa Tauri going on the inside of Farfar. These two had a good scrap earlier on. Last time out in Austria, Farfar is through, and he's up to do 6th finish and make that 5th, and he has gone through. Farfar in the 5th finish. Young Tommy dropped down to 6th then, and yes, and they got very close, didn't they, in Austria? They were even closer that time around there, but Farfar's got the job done. He's up in the 5th finish. He's flying in the Haas car. Mega 17 there for Farfar. He loves this circuit, doesn't he? Farfar does. He has good performance around here. Oh, Dylan there trying to go on the inside. He's going to lose an abundance amount of momentum, and that is now going to put New Potato right on the rear gearbox now in the Alpha Tower as well. Dylan then is going out to defend then, but New Potato is just too far back at the moment. Markey is also on the inside of Young Tommy as well. Young Tommy, of course, in the championship battle, is he there? So how much is he going to risk the battle in here then? Of course, and points means Price and Maldonado and Slayer are quite close together as well. As Curly there going for the inside there, and that door is always going to shut for Curly, and Markey there slam the door shut on his toes. And what about V-Top then? Is he going to give his teammate a cause for concern and going across the finish line? Well, not in this instance, is he? But he's still within 2/10 of a second of his teammate at the moment. And there's just going back into a lot here, but unfortunately, because of that gap closing quite quickly, that is really hurt Curly, because he's out of the DRS zone now. And Curly's also lost their position out to his teammate V-Todd as well, as TK is having a look there, not quite there, as we go down into Brooklands once again. And fantastic battle in here, as TK is trying to get by them. When are we going to come into the pits? And lap 9 was the early stoppers earlier on. Sorry, it was the early stoppers last night then. Remember though, the overcut there for Percy, that won in the Grand Prix. That got on track position there. Curly, oh no, in the Mercedes, and V-Todd is off the circuit there, and I think he's got off in left field. Oh no, V-Todd, who's had a great race, is in the back of the field. Then Farfar is again on the ascendancy. Now he's battling with a New Potato. V-Todd is trying to recover. He's dropped all the way down 7th position. That's how close this field is. And one mistake has cost V-Todd almost 10 positions here, 9 positions there. Goodness me, that's such a shame for V-Todd. And now Farfar, goodness me, it's the start of the show, isn't he? You Mad Bro has now lost out. TK has got the Grand Prix lead then. So what is Mad Bro going to do then? Is he staying out then? He is staying out, but Dylan isn't. Dylan's in the pits then. So Dylan is going for the undercut here. It didn't work last night, did it? But Dylan there is Dylan is going to try something different. The track conditions might be slightly different. And Mad Bro has lost the lead then. TK leads the Grand Prix for the first time on lap 9 here in the British Grand Prix. There is the LP driver. Gallagher set the fast up the race then. Incredible stuff indeed there. Curly's lost is now 2 seconds down the road there from Markey. Markey has had an absolutely outstanding drive today. Is he fantastic in the Aston Martin? Really impressive, to say the very least. And also in the pits is V-Todd as well. I think the V-Todd might got a bit of damage there for the spin there. We didn't see it on the camera, did we? Unfortunately, but I'm not sure if he's got damage or whatnot. But that's such a shame now for V-Todd. And on board now with Young Tom, the championship leader. He's currently 5th fast run. He's in front of his championship rival, which is Curly at the moment then. And his teammate Dylan, his other championship rival, has gone for the undercut here. It's on the medium tires. That should get him to the end of the race then. It is quite early. We was talking how early it was there for the runners last night then. So this might be this is even earlier than last night. So this is going to get very interesting very quickly. And on board now with Potato. He is currently on the medium tires as well then. So New Potato is going for the alternative strategy here. He's going to be quicker than a hiccup, isn't he, by the end of this one? And now Mad Bro has got the DRS and he's got the position. He's back in the lead then here in Silverstone. And that is the problem, is that you have to break the DRS zone as quickly as possible. TK is staying up then. New Potato's got a 3-second penalty. That is crucial, I think. No one else is coming to the pits this time around then, so no one else is covering. We've got Mercedes, I think, in the pits of Curly. Well, no one else is covering the pit stop of Dylan here. Interesting stuff is there. So going from the undercut to the overcut here tonight. Goodness gracious me then. And this is a very fraught and action-packed Grand Prix. Farf is having a look then, but I thought he was good. I felt that gap was opening up. Farf felt like he's a driver like Kobayashi, isn't he there? He's not shy to stick his nose in where it doesn't belong, isn't it? Farf, and Farf was getting very keen there. But New Patel then, goodness me, hacks on the way. This Williams steering wheel there. He's now right underneath the gearbox of TK. TK was a fit. Oh my gosh, there. As it going on the inside into Brooklyn there. I thought that might have been a day late in the dollar short. Look how long the pit lane is. Curly is still in the pits. TK has got water to left field. And New Potato takes the lead, takes second position there. And they almost locked wheels there. And now it's getting very hair and scare as it there. Now TK is easy go back on the offensive here. I think he's trying, but New Potato's got the job done. And that mistake there for TK has lost the position there. And we're on lap 10 out of the 26. And Marsky's got a penalty there for his troubles. And Farfus now is now all over the back of TK as well. TK is strong at this stage of proceedings in the Alpine car. And Farfus would like to get on the podium here tonight, but he does have a penalty. So does New Potato as well. And New Mapro and TK does have no penalties whatsoever. Nor does young Tommy or Marky. Outstanding performances from those drivers so far. Welshman is about 3.5 seconds about further down the road in the Williams car. Farf getting a bit squirrely into the pits. Comes the race leader, Mapro, and TK. I think is in the pits as well. He is in the pits. Farf who's on the medium tires. Young Tommy is also on the medium tires as well. They are staying out, of course. Incredible stuff. Critical out boys say Dylan is now in that nice clean air. He is indeed there. He's a second and a half behind Gunnar, and I think Gunnar will also be in the pits as well in the not too distant future. Marky is electing to stay out here in the Aston Martin. Interesting stuff here. I'm loving this. TK is now a bit changing the tires, and there's the McLaren mechanics, and they've just let out Mapro. He's coming out in a 10th position. But where is Dylan? Is what I'm hearing. You guys asked me. We're on board now. We're on board now then with Dylan, and where is the McLaren driver? That's a fast line there for Dylan now. He's really putting his toe down. This is the most important part of the race so far. And Mapro, where is he? He's coming out of the pits. There he is. And, oh, Dylan's off! Dylan's off! And he was pushing too hard there. And the man who the bronze world champion is spun it at a crucial time in this race. He got past the TK, but he did get past the Mapro, did he? And he's pushing once in there. And Sarah's now on the inside as well. There's Dylan's tires are going to be roasting hot here. Roasting hot indeed then. It's Sophie Todd set the fast over the race as well. Oh dear, Dylan now, who's going to be kicking himself, is he there? Because he got the job done for the majority of his rivals there, but unfortunately he didn't get the job done on Mapro. I wonder if he just pushed a bit too hard in turn one there. Now it's a humongous spin there. So luckily though, the bars are quite far away on that part of the track there as well. So Mapro is in the net lead, is he? Well, he's got a 9-second gap to go there. So now he can put in some lap times then. Not qualifiers, of course, because these Prix tires then are quite fragile, a bit like me. So you have to treat him with a bit of tender loving care then, don't you, for the opening couple of laps here. So Mapro, but he does have a lovely gap here, doesn't he? Reflections in the pits. Going back to this battle here. And now New Potato's been released slightly, but so he's got half a second gap now on himself and Farf. So he'll be fairly happy with that then. So he'll be fairly happy with that indeed, won't he? Because look at that, he's 8 tenths second away. There's Farf is trying to keep up the pace there from the first ever bronze world champion New Potato. But he's still in the DRS range, and Farf going very extremely on the left-hand side of the circuit there to break the slipstream. I would hazard to guess that Marky is doing a great job on those soft tires, by the way. Absolutely magnificent stuff indeed there. He is really making those soft tires work too. It's absolutely advanced, and those medium tires he's going to put on in the next couple of laps or so is going to be absolutely beneficial greatly to Marky as well, because they're going to be fresher tires towards the end. And how crucial will that be? Mapro has now got a 2-second gap over himself and TK. So Mapro is really struggling on the soft tires, but all of a sudden he is having the medium tires about and really pushing on now, isn't he? That was how important the gap at the battle was at the front of the field, was it, between TK and Mapro. And I'm wondering that if that is exactly what he needs as well. Look at this, as Farfar is trying, as New Potato is trying to break the slipstream there, because this race is far from over, as we may have lost a couple of drivers that have come into the pits, but the rest of them is Curtis got a 3-second penalty for his trouble set, and just now on board with Farf is Aston Martin mechanics are on the pits, and they are ready for Marky, who is in absolute prime position at the moment. Great 70. We'll see where Marky comes out compared to the McLaren. The McLaren of Mapro is coming down the hanger straight now into Stowe, so I don't think Marky's going to get out in front of him, unfortunately. But as we said, Marky is going for the long game here. Lovely footage here from the Haas team now. Haas are now 2nd and 5th in this Grand Prix one. There's Farf sorting away as well, and now Farf is there. He's standing up in the seat of this Haas car beautifully at the moment. Look at this, and once again he is coming after Ferrari. Oh, Gordo's off the circuit there, and we've got no retirement still then, but Gordo has gone off the circuit now. He's come back on, and so the Ferrari driver then unfortunately spin then. Where's Marky come out of here? He's in third, he's in 11th for this there. Is that going to be a net third then for Marky? We're going to find out, and he's in front of Curly as well. wow. So Markey is having an absolutely barnstorm of a Grand Prix at the moment. Great stuff indeed there for Markey. Really well done then. Gordo is going to be limping nosely, so he's only 2 seconds now in front of you, my bro. Gordo said he spun off quite high speed, didn't he? So those tires are going to be on fire, aren't they? It's only 20, still 20 cars left in the race, and so hats off to everyone in this race so far. Brilliant stuff indeed. The debutant Z-Mini, unfortunately, having a bit of a difficult debut out there, but hats off for him to still being in this Grand Prix. Good stuff indeed to the Alpine driver. Great stuff on board them Farfetch. Still no coming to the pit yet. I'm expecting these drivers to stay up for another couple of laps or so. Soft tires probably do about 10 laps with the fuel code off as well. I'm wondering though if so I expect them to come in probably around between lap 16 and 20 perhaps, and maybe even lap 16 to 18 next. You need enough time now to make those soft tires work to the absolute maximum performance, don't you? And of course these soft runners, they might be losing to the undercut, but of course we also got to remember the overcut. Oh, a new potato has spun the car. Oh no, a new potato has spun the car in the Williams. He was on a fantastic race. Oh goodness me. And that is such a shame there for New Potato. Oh my goodness me, Farf leads the Grand Prix, and I think that New Potato just got on the power too heavily there, going through the looping farm, and it's really cost him majorly in this race then. Oh my goodness me, and New Potato then, and those tires are going to be quite warm indeed, then that is a shame. Now young Tommy has found himself into second position right there with Farf in the lead of the Grand Prix, and it's a rewind now, but we're back to the Austrian Grand Prix. I remember how good that show was. Again, the Farfan still has issues there with penalties on board Dylan, and that is a car right off the circuit then, and that's Curly. Curly is off the circuit, and Curly's got off there, I think, coming into left field. Major is there for Curly. He's dropping down the order, and that's not good at all, is it, for Curly in this championship? But Quest said, and where is Gordo? Gordo's on the inside here. Now is UMAP Bro's got past Gordo. UMAP Bro's done almost 11 laps less on those medium tires, and so he's got a fresh set of boots on the car. And away he goes then. Gordo dropping down the order then, so Gordo would like to keep up. Look at Markey. Markey is fantastic here. New Potato coming into the pits, and Markey is fantastic. And look at this, and he's going for it. And Markey passes TK. He wasn't in that second position there. New Potato's in the pits quite early. Dylan has got past Slayer as well, and Dylan now in the 12th position. Dylan is looking strong on these medium tires. Well, he had a spin, didn't he, earlier on then? But he's found his groove quite nicely. And then now Dylan is also coming back into the Grand Prix as well. So not over by any stretch of imagination. New Potato on its soft tires. Farfizz dropped down the order, or has he? No, yes, because look at this. New Potato, Farfizz on the inside, then Tommy is on the outside, then now they're going switcheroo, and look at this, where is he? Young Tommy there is really got some pace in that AlphaTauri. The championship leader takes the lead of the British Grand Prix on that 15 out of 26 there. Oh my word there. Farfizz coming back, oh my gosh, Farfizz coming back at him there. That is going to be an airplane crash there if it came to blows there. But Farfizz, who really wants to win the British Grand Prix for the second season in a row, and he's loving life in that Haas car, and it's great to see Farfizz the sharp end of the field twice now. But look at young Tommy, he's harvested, so Farfizz taking the advantage there, retakes the championship leader, and he is back in the lead, the British Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff indeed then, and they're on lap 15. Farfizz in the pits, young Tommy's in the pits as well, goodness me, so they're both in the pits then let's see where they're going to come out then. Wow, Schmadonado, who's not been in the races this race has actually, but he's now going to lead the Grand Prix. Well, Schmadonado said it into the pits. And both Haas drivers are in the pits here. Hopefully, New Potato, New Potato, Serious Potato is a bit further back than his teammate, is said, so that he can not get held up too much then. Soft tires for young Tommy, soft tires for Farr. I expect the same then for the Serious Mushroom as well. Bradfield is now in the second position. Wilson is going to propel himself up in the third as well. Here comes the McLaren of UMAP Bro, retakes the lead. Then young Tommy and Farr still come out of the pits as well. Where's Markey? Markey is there, and Markey is on the inside. TK is also through as well. Where's Dylan? And Dylan there is that's how much time Dylan is, because of that spin there for Dylan. He has cost him majorly, hasn't it? He is still in this race, so is he? He is not done yet, is he? The bronze world champion, he has still got time, hasn't he? However, he hasn't got the tyres that he would like to have attacked on, as he is. Young Tommy and Farf do have the soft tyres, so this is going to get very interesting. Marquis in a fantastic 5th position. When it all shakes out, it'll be Umadbro with Marquis in 2nd, with TK in 3rd, and Tommy in 4th, and Farf in 5th. That is absolutely splendid stuff, isn't it? Marquis, my driver today so far, absolutely splendid stuff indeed there from the Aston Martin driver. Really good stuff. I'm absolutely loving this pace from Marquis tonight. Really good stuff indeed there. He's very much right from the get-go, doing a brilliant job in that Aston Martin tonight. Fantastic to see, and I'm absolutely loving it then. Young Tommy though is now right underneath the gearbox of TK. He's got 10 laps to go on these soft tyres. I know soft tyres go last said, well, approximately they should. The Mount in the pits, and New Potato's got a 3-second penalty. As unfortunate for New Potato then is it's not going too far from that young Tom. Oh my goodness, Tommy's attack has gone to the fence there. Look, far from the inside, and he passes the championship leader, and Farfred's going to force him out wide. He has done slightly, so young Tommy's going to go back on the inside there. Not quite though, into the Vale chicane then. Farfred's now into 2nd position, and that Farf needs to get past TK quite quickly here, doesn't he? Oh my gosh, and they've trimmed my bush. And coming across the line, Maldonado coming out of the pit side. I think that she's dropping down the order. She'll be coming out around the Red Bull and the Dillon area. She's going to be right in the middle of that Red Bull and Dillon. Oh, goodness me, she's just behind them, but she's on soft tyres. Maldonado's right in the thick of things. Goodness gracious me. Umadbro's got a 3-second gap between these two. When he came out into those outlaps, that is a sign of a true driving great, isn't it? He wasn't sure about the grip on the tyres. There's Marquis has dropped out of 5th position there. And now as old Farfar again, now he's going to go for the old switcheroo. That is brilliantly set up. Farfar using this abundance amount of experience in ALR, and he has moved himself up into 5th position. Absolutely sweeter than that there from Farf. Next target is TK as well. Young Tommy's going to have to follow him through if he wants the Grand Prix lead here. Umadbro though, he wasn't sure about the tyre life, was he, or what tyres underneath from there, but he came out, he nailed the lap straight away, didn't he? And that has really helped him in this Grand Prix. He's now got a 3-second deficit between himself and TK, and that could be crucial in the final stage of the Grand Prix. It's also crucial to see how long Farf has got to get past TK. Might not be too long at all. It is not too long at all, is it? And Farf has made quick work of TK and Marquis. He does have a penalty, so does TK as well. So Marquis is sitting in the box seats, isn't he? Let's see what Farf can do. Umadbro is now right behind his teammate. I'm wondering if there's going to be some team orders being dished out in the McLaren team. In the past, they have not done it. Well, they've not done as much as other teams, have they? But they did do it with COBALT in Australia in 1998. But of course, these two are on different tracks now. Bradfield and Wilson, as we mentioned already in the build-up to this race, that we was expecting these drivers to be leading the Grand Prix because of they're just so good with the tyre strategy. They are very much the tyre ticklers of ALR Silver. They really don't put too much stress through the rubbers, do they? And look at this, that is Wilson. I think they just feather the throttle there quite nice there. So Wilson very much a team player. He's had a lot of success with the McLaren team this season. Young Tommy's got past Marquis. Marquis is trying to go the inside. That may be a problem there. Oh goodness me! Oh my gosh! I thought that was going to cut the blows out. The game of inches. This is mega stuff indeed. There. I'm coming up to a Cop's corner once again. And young Tommy is heading in the background now. I think I just seen Maldonado right underneath the gearbox. Dylan as well. Dylan is going to be ruining that mistake, isn't he? From earlier on there, unfortunately for Dylan. But he's still in this race, and there's still 20 cars left from the Grand Prix. Hats off to all the drivers out there tonight. It could be the first time in ALR history that we could have a full grid then finish the race, if I'm not very much mistaken. That's absolutely magical stuff indeed. Tommy's out on the outside of TK. Look at that, he breezes past it. And Marquis having a look there. A very violent, aggressive maneuver on the inside there for Marquis. But I don't think he was in the zone, was he? Farf has got the gap down to 1.5 seconds there between himself and Wilson. But that is not the McLaren that he's after at the moment. The McLaren he's after is 7/10 of a second up the road then. Oh my goodness me. Welsh Maldonado is now into... Oh, Will Bradfield is off the circuit there. Oh no. And New Potato's also got a bit to attempt finish this one, so he's back in the points there. New Potato is that. He'll also be cursed. It's like Dylan and New Potato were in the sharp end of the field. Unfortunately, that hasn't got a two was in the late in the second half of the Grand Prix for both those two drivers. What a shame there. And TK then is just now dropping back there for young Tom. And Maldonado is going to be a major factor. I was dismissing her, wasn't I, when she led the Grand Prix earlier on this race. Goodness me, it shows how much I know about the Formula 1 racing, doesn't it? Incredible stuff indeed there from Maldonado. Absolutely brilliant stuff. We're just watching Wilson at the moment now, who is in third position. When is he going to come in the pits? And I think that the Wilson Bradfield might be aiming for some kind of safety car here, perhaps, or they want to... Or they just want to spend the least amount of times on the soft tires. However, they're going to have to come to pit sooner or later, because otherwise they're not going to have, they're not going to really maximise their chances of going on the soft tires. On board New Potato now, who's right underneath the gearbox of the Bronze World Champion, Dylan. Then. So 2 Bronze World Champions, and Season 3's Bronze World Champion against Season 1's Bronze World Champion. Now this is good, isn't it? Oh, great stuff indeed then. Goodness gracious me then. And now then, they're both in the same league. They're both fighting for position as well. We haven't seen much of this battling yet, have we? Bradfield's in the pits, and so Bradfield is blinked first, and he is in the pits, and New Potato's had a look there. No dice in the mode there for New Potato. And at the moment, New Potato should be 8th position mode, but that's if he doesn't overtake anyone. Malnodder then is still in 7th position, but Markey is now into 6th position. But remember, Markey has got no penalties, nor does young Tommy either, and nor does you mad bro. So that is where the advantage is going to be at the moment. We're on lap 20 out of 26, and Farf has 3 seconds of penalties. That is going to come back to bite him in the old posterior, I would hazard a guess that. New Potatoes just got past Dylan and moved up into 8th position. Farf just sticking with Farf at the moment, and there are the penalties out on the tower. Wilson there, I wonder how long he's going to be defending against Farford, and I'm wondering if Wilson is going to be defending for all his might here to help his teammate then perhaps said, but of course he has to catch past you man bro and disappear 6 seconds at the road. Young Tommy will be a bit more of a concern there for you man bro, but we'll find out as we go through Cop's corner again. And Farf's gone a bit wide there into Cop's there, and he's really oh my goodness me, that is going to, oh gosh, Farf is never shy of an overtake, is he was getting very much right underneath the gearbox of Wilson's one, and oh my word there, as they're climbing all over the curbs, and they look at this, and the Sarah's got a 3-second penalty. Farf is alongside, Farf has the position there, he passes the McLaren, and he is now in 2nd position. Next target, a 2.5 away, it is you mad bro. 7 laps to go in the British Grand Prix, make that 6 laps to go in the British Grand Prix. What can Farf do here? He has now got to catch and pass you mad bro. You mad bro is on the cusp of his, not only his first podium, but his first Grand Prix win in silver. Goodness gracious me then. Oh, that'll be absolutely magnificent 17th there for you mad bro. Farf be going for a 2nd Grand Prix win of his career. Young Tommy will love his 1st Grand Prix win as well. TK's got a penalty as well. So is New Potato, and he's now got 9 seconds worth of penalties, and that's going to cost him a point at this stage of proceedings. Curly down in 12th position, unfortunately on a nightmare race. Curly is there. Unfortunately, that is such a shame there. Brilliant something. Cryptic say Wilson sacrifices race to give his teammate the win. And what a good guy there. Yes, indeed, there Wilson there really kind of extending his stint then, and really hindering Farf, and that is crucial, because those soft tires now are not going to be as quick as what they once were, which is the most obvious thing I've said on the stream in a very long time, isn't it? Yeah, those soft tires are going to be dropping off in terms of performance now, as they have done 5 laps on those soft tires already, haven't they? So the advantage is now going to start to swing into the advantage of you mad bro, or is it, as we're just in the serious motion, Papal himself pass reflection up in the 13th position now. Great stuff, no drivers have retired from this race just yet. That's absolutely magical stuff indeed that both Williams drivers said are very close together, and of course both Williams came to blow. Goodness me, as Malnodder's got a that's another penalty there for the Williams team, and for Malnodder then is now New Potato there right into the gearbox of New Potato, and New Potato passes Miles Malnodder and moves up to 8th position there. We've also got Gallagher moving up into 10th position. Goodness me, what is occurring here then? And now is I think that Wilson might be a bit more defensive on young Tommy, because I think that young Tommy may be the major issue here then. Absolutely incredible stuff, but is it because I think that young Tommy he's got a penalty there, and yes, that is, I think that Wilson there probably indirectly caused that, because of course of the dirty air, and TK is now under the gearbox of young Tommy as well. Young Tommy, is he going to think about the World Championship? Can he think about the World Championship in combat? I'm sure he can. He does have the brain capacity, doesn't he? But does he? He's not concerned about the championship. He's going for the race win. And why shouldn't you go for the race win there? Young Tommy is up in a third position now. Amazing stuff indeed. Then absolutely fantastic there. Young Tommy. I was wondering if young Tommy's going to think about the championship and just back off a bit there. Maybe. But how can you when you're a high-speed game of chess there? Goodness me, and these guys must have incredible capacity on board with Farfed. And of course, as he's now running underneath the gearbox, Umapro, he's really caught up to Umapro quite quickly here. He has 6 seconds worth of penalties with just 5 laps to go in this race. That needs to be over a second a lap now, doesn't it? For Farford, if he wants to win the Grand Prix. Young Tommy is now in the third position. Young Tommy also has a 3-second penalty as well. So the job is simple now for Umapro. It's simple, but it's got to be difficult to complete, isn't it? Of course, he has to save in 6 seconds of Farford. He has to save in 3 seconds of young Tommy on lap 23 out of 26 here. I'm on the edge of my seat then. Farfus going for a second Grand Prix win. Mad Bro's going for his debut Grand Prix win. So is Young Tommy also going for his debut Grand Prix win as well. Young Tommy is also extending his in the World Championship. That is what he's also got to be concerned about, surely. Marquis has got a 3-second penalty. That's his first penalty of the race set for Marquis, but that should help him pass. Oh, contact! Farfus gone to the back of it. Mad Bro's that damaged the car on the Haas car as well. Well, now it's got past her teammate as the Williams guys are on an almighty scrap there. Farfus. Oh, that's major damage there. Look, the Haas car's wing is falling off there. Oh, no. And now then it's new Mad Bro. Has it fast. His Farfus got major damage on that Haas car. That is a crucial part of this race then. Farfus got another 9-second penalty. It started to fall to the wayside. Then Wilson is now battling with TK as well. As Marquis has dropped off the back of this battling duo for the minute. And I've got to say, Wilson, my word, he's had 23 laps on those medium tires. That's absolutely incredible. Goodness me. I gotta say, I think we've moved the tracking cops there. My goodness, they're right off the circuit there. Wilson is really content in this battle here. Is that? Oh, Marquis, that going on the inside then. And Maldona's going to be very interested in that battle. Now, Niptail's got no penalty. And now they go slipstream. And then look at this, there's Maldonado on the soft tires there. She's alongside. It's wheel to wheel down the hanger straight at the inside. Oh, my goodness me. Where's Marquis? Here he is then. Oh, my word there. And Maldona's got a 3-second penalty there. But she is now up into 6th position there. Marquis down to 7th. Remember, Marquis has the advantage in terms of the less penalties out there. Farfus got major damage then on lap 24 out of 26, and he is going to be so disappointed in that, isn't he? As we're back on board with TK. Oh, there's a Constantina effect then, and TK trying to go on the outside of Wilson. Wilson is not yielding, is he? And this might be a goal opportunity for Maldonado. But remember, these drivers do have penalties, don't they? Wilson has no penalties, but I think that I wonder, has Wilson forgot about the mandatory pit stop here? Of course, you have to have 2 types of compounder tyres here. And Wilson is not coming to the pitch just yet. Absolutely incredible stuff here. Wow. And now Wilson's lost out to 5th position there. Farfus and Young Tommy then. And Young Tommy. And look, Farfus back up the inside. And Farfus limping wounded, isn't he? And Farfus limping wounded. Oh my gosh. And I think there was that bit of contact there. Young Tommy just about stays on the circuit there. And Young Tommy is out 3 seconds back. Farfus is going to be. I think Farfus going to get a penalty here. Maldonado and Wilson are now coming close together as well. McLaren and the Williams there. My word, there we're going back to 2003, and wow, incredible. Farfus got a 12-second, another penalty. There's 12 seconds there. Dylan's got a penalty as well. Penalties are starting to rack up there for a lot of these drivers there. Oh my gosh there, oh my word there, I thought that was going to be a big old airplane crash there, my word there, I was absolutely holding my breath then. As into the pits there comes, as Farfus in the pits as well as Wilson. Oh my gosh, there's Wilson and Farfus. Well, as Wilson's just giving Farfus a bit of a old bump there, hasn't he? Here's Mad Bro, my word there, as it was getting very close there, but Mad Bro on lap 25 out of 26 there, and I think where did he win this race? I'm thinking about. I think he won it in those outlaps, didn't he? He won it in those outlaps when of course TK and Marquis was battling tooth and nail. Marquis is on course for a fantastic. Oh my goodness me! And on the outside goes Dylan there. Mark is on course for a fantastic third position here. He's doing a superlative job there. Really well done indeed there. And who's out on the inside there? That's Gallagher, who's got no penalties. Even Gallagher could be up to third actually, because he's got no penalties either. Goodness gracious me, Gallagher doing a great job for the Alfa Romeo. And my word there, this is going to be a cracking end to a great Grand Prix. As I've just read the comments, I'm sorry guys, I've been very much ignoring you for most of the race, haven't I? Because I can't take my eyes off the show tonight. Oh, wow. Emerson saying, and Forza Ferrari with a love heart, and he said he helped Farfus set up, but then Emerson just came back and said, oh, never mind, then Gordo set the fast up of the race as well, down in 18th position, unfortunately, on a bit of a nightmare. Isn't he? And we've also got Troy saying the whole grid will have a win in silver at the end of the season at this rate, and it's incredible, isn't it? So competitive, the silver category as this season is absolutely brilliant to watch there. Really good stuff indeed there. Loving this one. And we've got Serna, who's just got past New Potato, who's dropping down to 8th position. What shape for the Gallagher! No, Gallagher's off the circuit. That was good. Oh my word there. And now it's a potential podium for Gallagher. That slipped through his fingers. Oh my word there. Oh, Gallagher Gallagher, and that is absolutely cruel. Is it cruel indeed there for Gallagher? As he would have been on the podium there, but I think it's now back into the hands of Marquis, isn't it, for Aston Martin's first ever podium of where are we? Silver here tonight. We're just watching the Grand Prix leader at the moment, as we're trying to have a bit of let's have a bit of decorum, shall we? Oh my word, there, absolutely incredible stuff indeed. No retirements, it's magnificent stuff indeed. That Aaron said that Z Mini is a ghost set, so I'm not sure how long he's been or not been in the car for, but hopefully he's still in the race. Umabro's got a 3-second penalty. That shouldn't make too much difference now, should it? Because he's on the final lap of the race set. Umabro's VTOL set the fast lap of the race set. Of course, the new fast lap rules is you can get a fast lap wherever you are in the field. Then, so I think there's going to be, as we've got yellow flags down the, is that down left field? Potentially, and it's one of the, I think it's Bradfield. It is Bradfield there just cruising. As my goodness me, oh gosh, there, and that is incredible battling there between Manaz over the first position. That's incredible battling between Marsky and Gordo. Oh my word, there. There's no points on the for grabs here. But my goodness me, there's a lot of pride. You mad, bro? Out of the final turn then, and look at this as he is come. Oh, young Tommy wins the British Grand Prix. He was slowing right down. I thought it was for a formation finish, but young Tommy wins the British Grand Prix. Absolutely amazing. I think he's run out of fuel, has he? Oh my goodness me. Let's get to the celebrity truck. The fuel light is flashing. The fuel light is red. And you mad bro, his he was less than half a lap away. And you mad bro is going to be second today, but he has lost the Grand Prix because I think he ran out of fuel. There was no safety cars, was there? Oh my goodness me. You mad bro is second today. Marsky is in a fantastic third. Young Tommy, who's won 2 races in a row, albeit that Marsky's got a disqualification there. So that means that we haven't got over 4 host of cars, unfortunately, in the British Grand Prix. Oh my goodness me. But young Tommy won the race last week there, but unfortunately, Unfortunately, of course, the other pounds are rescinded for Curly. But today, young Tommy, does he get the Grand Prix win? I think he should, shouldn't he? Oh, my goodness me. But young Tommy is the Grand Prix winner. I'm not even sure how close that was. So we're going to have a look at it. Cryptic out by young Tommy, no way. Cryptic saying, yay. Absolutely incredible stuff indeed. Then, and there is young Tommy. That's his first Grand Prix. That's his first Grand Prix win of his career in LR in silver. Fantastic stuff indeed for young Tommy. And that means he's now going to extend his lead in the World Championship as well. Brilliant stuff indeed. There, fantastic racing out down the field. There, we almost had no DNFs, did we? There, but unfortunately, there Marsky got a DNF. Well, got a DQ in the end, didn't he? Unfortunately, so we don't get the full host of 20 cars across the finish line there. Young Tommy there won the Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff there for young Tommy. By 0.3 of a second there from Umadbro, who we think had some fuel issues at the end then. So young Tommy won the race. Umadbro in second. Third position was Marsky. What a performance there for Marsky. Fantastic. Dylan had a spin there. Could have been so much better for Dylan potentially today. Fourth in the end. TK in fifth position. Slayer up into a solid 6. Brilliant. Curly in seventh. And it all went a bit Pete Tong halfway through, but he still got seventh in the end. Gallagher, if he didn't have that spin, he could have been on the podium, I would say, but he's 8th position. Maldonado in 9th position, then with Sirius Russia getting a point in the Haas in 10th position. Then outside the top 10 was Reflections in 11th position. Then New Potato in 12th. Wilson in 13th position. Farf down into 14th, who was in the pin, who was at the start of the field then, all the way through up until the end. Then Vital has got the bonus point for fast lap. Bradfield in 16th position. Gordo 17th. Gunnar is 18th there. Z Mini, I'm not sure if he dropped out or whatnot, but he's in 19th position. Possibly a DNF, and Marsky's got a DQ then, and he is out of the Grand Prix. I forgot young Tommy in the pits actually. Young Tommy, can you hear me?
Yes, mate, I can hear you.
Well, I gotta say, I was saying about where your mad bro possibly won it. He possibly won it when he was sprinting around on his outlap, but my goodness me, he ran out of fuel in the end, and that was a surprising Grand Prix win for you.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I won by, I think, 3 times. I don't really know how it happened, because I was just focused to keep the car on track today.
It was a battling drive as well. Then, goodness me. Talks about the first stint as well. Then, as you was just sitting there, wasn't you? Like, was you just sitting there waiting for what the driver's going to do, maybe for some mistakes, or was you just plotting about what you were going to do in terms of strategy and what tires to go on?
Yeah, to be sure, I was only trying to keep up with the top drivers, like on the softs, and get a good gap to the back, and yeah, just try to keep the mediums out as long as possible, pretty much.
Was it the plan always going to was the plan always going to be going for the medium to the soft tires, or was the hard tires ever in your thought process?
Not at all, to be honest. The hard tires, I don't like them around here. I mean, I'm not really good around this track. That's one of the aspects for not going on the hard tires. Um, nah, but the hard tires were no chance for me. Like, at no occasion.
And my goodness me, I gotta say, you had so many battles today. Then, was you thinking about the championship in any of those one-to-one combats? Because I was saying that you might have backed off slightly because you got quite a nice lead in the championship, or was that never coming to your mind either? Was you always focused on the Grand Prix win and maybe a podium here tonight?
To be honest, I completely forgot about the championship today. I just wanted to get my first win finally after last week, and yeah, I finally got it. I hope so. Hopefully not getting it stolen again.
Yeah, hopefully not. Then quickly we'll run away before the before anything else happens. But yeah, in terms of does this make up for the pain of last week? That of course their penalty was rescinded, wasn't it? And Curly got the Grand Prix win then. But does this make up for the pain of last week?
Yes, definitely. To be honest, that one was a bit better than last week because this one I didn't expect it at all today.
And just going forward, then of course we've got the Hungarian Grand Prix round 9. We're almost at the halfway stage of the World Championship as well. And as you are now becoming a major factor in this championship, well, you've been a major factor since the get-go, really. I think you've only had one DNF in your entire season. Hang on, let me lean forward. No, you've had no DNFs. Like goodness gracious me, then. So
Oh,
you've been in the points in every single race that you started in. You are a major factor in this championship now. You didn't think about the championship today. Is you going to have a problem trying to keep out your mind for the rest of the season, or are you quite good with the mind management?
I'm kind of cool with the mind management. I'll just try to stay calm, don't like get lead into mistakes. Trying to keep the consistency up, and yeah, pray for the best.
We've had hashtags like Tommy for president. We've had hashtags Tommy for king and all that kind of stuff. Now we've got hashtag Tommy for gold as well. Then that's going to be trending, I think, tonight. Fantastic stuff, young Tommy, and we'll see you in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed. Then I don't think anyone else is in the party here tonight, is it? I think it's just me and Tommy. So I
I
think
think
is there anyone else in here?
Marky joined. Yeah, Marky joined. I
Oh
think.
my gosh, I'm
No.
so sorry, Marky. You should have shouted at me. Marky, what an incredible drive today. You was third. I was saying that you were driver of the day for me, and no one's going to take that away from me because I think you was fantastic today. Talk us about your race if you can, and how you was absolutely on it right from the get-go.
Had a decent quali. I would have preferred to start on the medium, but softs was a good tyre for start on. And yeah, basically just keep the pace, keep going round, hope for the best.
How difficult was it to keep the pace there? Because you've had a bit of an up and down start to the season, but today I think that you really stood up and see that Aston Martin, absolutely brilliant stuff. Was you daunted by the drivers around you because you see the likes of young Tommy, Dylan, and you Mad Bro like up with you, fighting with you, do you and TK and everyone? Was you concerned about those drivers, or did you feel you belonged there?
Felt like I could pretty much match their pace, to be fair. I had some good battles with TK and a few others, and yeah, pretty decent race. Happy with it, to be fair.
I think one of the major factors today for your decent race was the lack of penalties. How did you go through the race without getting? Well, if you got a 3 second penalty in, then that is absolutely incredible stuff. There was the pressure building on you coming towards the end of the race, seeing that the lack of penalties you got with the drivers in front of you, knowing that knowing they got penalties.
Yeah, I actually got two warnings on the last couple of laps, so I was only one warning away from another penalty. So yeah, pressure was on.
And is this now the start of your season? And as I said, there's been a bit of a up and down season. Of course, the highlight coming in the Monaco Grand Prix, a fantastic performance there. Do you think it's now the start of the season, then going from Hungary onwards? We're coming up to the half distance now. Goodness me! But are you
Yeah, I
confident
hope
going
so.
forward?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, these next few tracks I enjoy. So yeah,
Oh, that's fine.
Hopefully, it's more podiums to come.
Oh, that'd be really good stuff indeed. Then, and Marky, and talk about your season. Then, before we go, then, of course, how would you sum up your season so far?
Slow start, very slow start. But I think that was just down to the new game and one thing or another. And then, yeah. Oh, and I started driving with no traction, so that was a big change. So I'm getting used to it now.
Brilliant stuff. Well done, Marky. Absolutely fantastic. And we got your mad bros just popped into the to a quick chat as well. You mad bro, you was 3/10 of a second away from winning your first Grand Prix, a silver. Goodness me. We said that it was fuel that you having issues with on the final lap. I thought you were slowing down to have a bit of a parade, but my word, there, young Tommy stole at the line there.
I can't believe it. I just can't believe it, man. I gave it all. I gave it all in this race. I think this was one of my best races so far in my career, and to end it like that on the line, yeah, congrats to Tommy. But yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow at the moment.
Was it the fuel? Was it due to the lack of safety cars? And was that the issue?
Yeah, usually there's always at least one safety car. Yeah, you think. But I never underfuel my car. I always got like +2 or something. But this race I thought, no, I'm gonna go low fuel. I'm gonna push as hard as I can, and yeah, it didn't work out the way I intended.
What a shame, but let's go back to a positive because in qualifying you absolutely nailed that on the how much pressure was it to get your first pole position on the final lap with with literally just seconds to spare. You was very much on the limit there. How difficult was it to get that one lap in?
I was actually very calm getting it in, but I wanted to get out as late as possible for the best conditions because it was raining just before, and I literally just made it off the line, like in 2 seconds, and qualifying was over. So, yeah, in the lap itself it was pretty calm, and when I saw the sector times go purple, already had pole on my mind. But yeah, it's great to get pole, and yeah, the result speaks for itself.
And also, let's end on one more positive because I was saying in the commentary that I think you won that race with your blistering outlap on when you first came out of the pits on those medium tyres. That was absolutely magical stuff. How difficult was it again then to just really push right from the get-go and just get on the pace there? Because you gapped TK to almost 3 seconds in that phase of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think I had like two people in front of me, and it was crucial to get them. So I overtook one into Maggots and Baggots, and it was a really tricky move. But I just had to go for it because the slower cars and all the tires just slow you down so much. But yeah, I got lucky with overtaking, and I had a lot of clean air to pull the gap away.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. Well done, you mad bro. Commiserations on the loss of the Grand Prix, but a great second today. And really, you've announced yourself on silver today. Young Tommy got his first Grand Prix win, then made up for the pain of Austria. And Marky also getting on the podium for the first time as well. I've got to say, these three drivers are going to be talking for a lot more races to come, I think, in the next half of the season as well. Almost next half of the season. Tomorrow night, it is bronze, isn't it? We've had 7 different Grand Prix winners in the first 7 races. 2012 for